A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Hello? Are you there? Well, we're here.
Swan, the soap that's pure and gentle. Come on, swing to Swan.
Lever Brothers, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, present the Burns and Allen Show with Paul Whiteman. Our singer, Jimmy Cash, yours truly, Bill Goodwin, the 6 hits and a miss, and George Burns and Gracie Allen. Here they are. Well, today George and Gracie are discussing a subject that most husbands never mention to their wives. In fact, it's a subject that never arises in the average American home. Let's listen.
Gracie, you've been spending too much money. Look at this budget for November.
Well, it's Allen's. We're not spending any more than we make.
I know, but that's the trouble. Some of the items in this budget are ridiculous. Milk for cats, $2? We haven't got any cats.
No, but we have mice.
Well, I don't get it.
Well, if I put bowls of milk all around the house, the mice will think we have cats and they'll be afraid to come out of the hole.
Oh, fine. And some night I'll kick over a bowl of milk and ruin the rug.
Oh, you're right, dear. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, I know. I'll scare the mice with milk that doesn't splash.
Milk that doesn't splash?
Sure, cheese.
Yeah, that'll scare the mice to death.
Yeah. Oh, I'll answer it.
Okay, dear.
Oh, it's the postman. Good morning, Mr. Postman.
Good morning, Mrs. Burns. Only one for you today, and I'm afraid that one's a bill.
Oh, well, that's all right, Mr. Postman. I realize the post office only sends us what they get. How are you feeling?
Oh, simply marvelous. I took a nice cold shower. Ice cold shower this morning and then ran around the reservoir a couple of times in my shorts. I guess that's what put all this pep in me.
Oh, no doubt about it. It is a gorgeous morning, isn't it? Cool and snappy, sort of.
Yeah. On a morning like this, I can feel the blood racing through my veins. Can't you?
Well, no, I can't, but then you're much closer to your veins than I am.
Yeah, that's true. Well, goodbye, Mrs. Burns. Remember, keep smiling.
Any mail, dear?
Oh, it's just a bill, probably for my new hat. It only costs $12.
$12.
Well, George, I only buy what I absolutely have to. Just bare necessities.
Is a $12 hat a bare necessity?
No, but I didn't want my head to be one.
Gracie, you don't need any more hats. And today, when you buy anything you don't need, you're taking something away from our fighting men.
Oh, well, gee, I never thought of that. I'll wrap up the hat right away.
That's the idea.
I wonder who would look better on, a soldier or a sailor.
Gracie, it's not the hat. You see, very few things are being made for civilians today. And if everybody tries to buy those things, the demand makes prices go up, and we've got inflation.
Oh, well, gee, the sales girl said that the hat would cause comment, but I never thought it would cause inflation.
Well, let's get back to this budget. What's this silly item? Bicycle pump, $1.
Well, that's an economy. That'll save us lots of money on breakfast food.
A bicycle pump will save us money on breakfast food?
Well, yeah, from now on we'll puff our own rice.
Yes, that'll save us a fortune. And what's this? Rose bushes, $75.
Well, you know that florist who has that lovely big greenhouse just off Glendale Boulevard?
Yes.
Well, I happened to be out in that direction yesterday and went through it.
Yeah, but I don't see any rose bushes around here. Where are they?
Well, there's one still stuck in the bumper of my car.
You really went through
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
but I'll save enough money to make up for it. I'm going to buy one of those things that conductors punch tickets with.
What's that for?
Well, then we won't have to pay the cleaner to take the spots out of your necktie.
I see. We just punch them out.
Yeah.
Look, sweetheart, from now on, we only buy what we absolutely need. The rest of the money goes for For war bonds.
But we do buy war bonds every month.
Yes, but if we cut out these silly things, we can really buy more. And not only that, we get $4 back for every $3 we put in. We help prevent inflation, and we help win the war.
Oh, you're right, dear. Everybody should cut down on their spending and put that money into war bonds.
That's the idea. So let's throw the silly budget right out of the window.
Well, but don't you want to look at the items for our Thanksgiving dinner?
We'll cut that, too.
Oh.
The turkey we had last year should have had a pilot and a bombardier.
Well, this year we're only getting a 12-pound turkey, 3 pounds for each of us.
Well, I don't follow that arithmetic.
Well, Blanche and Harry Morton are going to eat with us.
Not again. Those sponges have had Thanksgiving dinner at our house 5 years in a row.
They're not sponges, George. They contribute their share. Every year, Blanche brings over a jar of her homemade pickled peaches.
I know.
And every year, Harry helps you clean the walls when the jar explodes.
Sure, they're absolutely wonderful people.
Hi, George. Hello, Gracie. What's cooking?
I am. Burnt up about Harry Morton. That guy's a sponge.
He's not a sponge.
He is, too. We'll leave it to Bill.
Now, wait a minute, George. I'd rather not get in the middle of a family quarrel.
Bill, I'm trying to prove to Gracie that Morton is a sponge. Now, you know him. What do you say?
Well, George, of course, there's only one way to tell a sponge. That is, a real sponge. You rub soap on it, and if you get loads and loads of pure baby gentle suds, you've got Swan, the new white floating soap.
What's Harry Morton got to do with Swan soap?
Well, now, look, George, I don't want to get involved in a family argument.
Yeah, but just answer me one question. Have you ever known Morton to reach for a check?
Well,
Oh, come on, admit it, have you?
Well, maybe you don't notice his hand when he reaches across the white tablecloth to pick up a check because his hands are so soft and white. You know, he washes his wife's dishes with Swan soap, George.
Oh, brother.
That's Swan for you, George. So kind to your hands. Mild as the finest Castile soaps. So mild you should use it not only for washing the dishes, but for every soap and water job in the house. In fact, Swan is great for everything.
Bill, I'm going to get you to agree that Harry Morton is a moocher if it's the last thing I do. What about the other day when the three of us went into a drugstore for sodas? Who paid the check?
Oh, you mean the drugstore that's having the sale on Swan soap?
Yeah. How about that?
Oh, it's going great. Lots of dealers are now running a big sale on Swan.
Bill, I'm talking about Harry Morton.
Oh, well, he bought 3 bars.
Oh.
You know, you buy 3 bars and save. Yes, sir, you save in more ways than one.
Well, I give up. There's a guy invites himself to my house for Thanksgiving dinner, and nobody agrees with me that he's a chiseler.
Well, now, wait a minute. Did he do that?
Yes.
Well, anyone who invites himself to your house for Thanksgiving dinner without being asked certainly is a chiseler.
There. You see, Gracie?
Oh, George, that reminds me why I dropped in.
Why?
Shake hands with another chiseler. So long. See you Thanksgiving.
Well, I'm glad his salary is frozen. It'll be easier to break off. Anyway, Gracie, there's no reason why we should buy a turkey to feed the Mortons.
Well, but George...
Look, Gracie, why can't we eat at their house for a change?
Well, I could call Blanche and sort of hint around.
Well, I wish you would. Of course, I don't want you to be too blunt about it.
Oh, don't worry, George. She won't suspect a thing. I'll be very subtle about it. Hello? Hello, Blanche. This is Gracie. How about inviting us for Thanksgiving dinner this year?
That's very subtle.
What did you say, Blanche? Oh, I see. Your mother and father are coming for Thanksgiving. What? Oh, no, that's all right. Yeah, we understand. And goodbye, Blanche. Well, Judge, Blanche's mother and father are going to be in town.
I know, I heard.
So we won't need to get a turkey for 4 people.
Oh, good.
We'll get one for 6.
This is Paul Whiteman, and here's Jimmy Cash voicing the hopes of millions of people all over the world.
When the light's gone again all over the world, and the boys are home again all over the world, and rain or snow is all that may fall from the skies above. A kiss won't mean goodbye, but hello to love. the world. And the ship will sail again all over the world. Then we'll have time for things like wedding rings, and free hearts will sing. When the lights go on again, all over the
Well, George didn't say positively that the Mortons couldn't come for Thanksgiving dinner. He just gave Gracie $1.50 and told her to buy the turkey. So now we pick up Gracie at Myers Market.
Oh, Mr. Myers.
Oh, good afternoon, Mrs. Burns.
Well, now, I'm in sort of a hurry. Can you wait on me right away?
Why, of course I can. What would you like?
Well, I'd like to place an order for...
Gracie, darling!
Tootsie Sagwell.
Oh, my, it's good to see you again, Gracie. Where have you been keeping yourself?
Oh, around. Where have you been?
Oh, here and there.
Oh, hell, no wonder we haven't seen each other. Oh, what are you doing? Shopping for dinner?
Yes, I bought some nice carrots.
Oh, well, what a piece of luck, Tootsie. Only yesterday I read the most wonderful new recipe. It's called Carrot Supreme.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Oh, it is. First you take the carrots.
Yes.
And then you wash them.
Yes.
And, well, that's all I remember, but it's called Carrot Supreme, and it's wonderful.
Oh, I can't wait to try it.
Oh, dear, Mr. Myers has wandered off somewhere. Mr. Myers?
Yes, Mrs. Burns.
Look, I don't want to be a pest, but I am in a hurry, and could you wait on me now?
Right away. What would you like?
Well, I'd like... Oh, Tootsie, I noticed you're carrying a hat box.
Yes, I got a new hat at Sally's.
Well, I got a new hat, too, but George made me send it back.
Is he trying to act like a man again?
Well, he was right this time. We're cutting our budget down, and besides, the hat was pretty extreme.
What are the new creations?
Well, yeah, with a military motive. The hat had a flat top, and when you leaned over, a little toy airplane took off.
Oh, how adorable.
Oh, my goodness, Mr. Myers is gone again. He's much too scatterbrained to run a market. Mr. Myers!
Yes, Mrs. Burns.
Look, I hate to complain about the service, but I do think you might remember that I'm in a hurry.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Burns. What would you like?
Well, I'd like it... Oh, Tootsie, look! Look who's driving by the market.
Who is it, Gracie?
Bill Walsh. Have you still got a crush on him?
Not anymore. After what happened Saturday night, I never want to see him again.
Why, what did happen?
Oh, I invited him for dinner, and I thought it would be more cozy if I locked all the doors. Well, there I was picking broken window glass out of my suit.
Well, this is the limit. That silly Mr. Myers has forgotten all about it. Mr. Myers!
Yes, Mrs. Burns.
Look, if you want me to trade here, you shouldn't keep disappearing when you know I'm in a hurry.
Okay, Mrs. Burns. What would you like?
How much is turkey?
50 cents a pound.
All right, here's $1.50. Give me an 18-pound turkey.
Oh, Mrs. Burns, that isn't enough.
Oh, yes, it is. We're only having 6 for dinner.
No. $1.50 would only buy that little turkey over there. He only weighs 3 pounds.
Why didn't you pluck his feathers out like the others?
Well, he might not like it. You see, he's alive.
Oh. Say, I've got an idea. I could fatten him up, and then the Mortons could come to dinner, and it'll only cost George $1.50. Mr. Myers, I'll take him.
Okay, Mrs. Burns, I'll get it.
Gracie, what does George say if you bring a live turkey in the house?
Oh, gee, I never thought of that. He'll be mad. He even had a fight with Herman this morning.
Did he pick on that sweet little duck?
Yeah, George yelled and yelled, but Herman didn't say a word. He just sat there quietly in the nest he'd made of George's shorts.
Oh, such a darling.
Yes. Oh, I know. I'll sneak the turkey in. Tootsie, would you lend me your hat box to hide it in?
Of course I would. I've been dying to show you my new hat anyway. I'll take it out of the box.
All right.
Now, here's the turkey, Mrs. Burns. No, not by the neck. You hold him by the feet.
Oh, all right. Oh, my, his little feet are chapped. Well, he shouldn't be running around barefooted in November. Well, Mr. Myers, why does he make that funny noise?
Well, all turkeys gobble.
Well, then he should eat slower. or else take some bicarbonate of soda.
Gracie, look. I got on my new hat. How do you like it?
Well, do you want my frank opinion, or would you rather have me tell a little white lie?
I'll take the little white lie.
Tootsie, it's simply gorgeous.
Oh, thank you, Gracie.
You're welcome, Tootsie. Goodbye. Hello, dear.
Oh, back so soon. Gracie, did you buy another hat? And what's in the box?
What box?
The box you have under your arm.
What arm?
What arm?
Well, you mean
arm.
this arm? The one attached to my shoulder?
Yes, what's in it?
Oh, bones and muscles and arteries. And...
Not the arm, the box.
Oh, the box.
The box. What's in it?
Well, a picture?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm telling you. It's a picture of my cousin Philip. That's what it is, a picture. A talking picture. Oh, Cousin Philip spoke very little English.
Gracie, for the last time, what is in that box?
Well, all right, I'll tell you. But you've got to promise you won't get mad. Will you get mad?
No.
How much do you want to bet?
Gracie.
Well, you told me I could spend $1.50 for a turkey. So I bought a little live one, and we can fatten them up, and that way we have the horses over.
You bought a live turkey?
Well, they're easier to fatten up that way than the other kind.
Oh, well, that's fine. I knew he'd wind up feeding those Mortons again. Okay, let's see this turkey that we're going to fatten up. Gee. He isn't very friendly. He looks like he's thinking of biting my nose off.
Well, look what you're thinking of doing to him.
Yes, I guess so.
Oh, it's my darling little ducky. Oh, Herman, Mama has a surprise for you. Yes, really. Look in this box. Oh, Herman, don't be frightened. It's only a little turkey. And he's got to live with us for a while, Herman. Oh, why Herman Burns, you're jealous.
This is the happiest moment of my life.
From Irving Berlin's This Is the Army, here's a tune that's coming up fast to be a real winner. The Boys and 6 hits and a miss in I'm Getting Tired So I Can Sleep.
Gracie, are Herman and that Tux and that duck still fighting in the pantry?
Well, I'll look and see. I think they're still fighting.
I got the same impression. And unless we do something, the neighbors will be complaining about the noise.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past that snippy Mrs. Marks who lives next door. She's had it in for me ever since I borrowed her vacuum cleaner last week. I don't know why.
Well, maybe you kept it too long.
Oh, no. I gave it back to her as soon as I finished cleaning the fish.
Very unreasonable woman.
Hi, people.
What brings you back, Chisler?
Well, that's what brought me back. I invited myself over here for Thanksgiving dinner, and then I remembered I have a date with a girl for Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, that's too bad, Bill.
But, Gracie, you love having her. She eats like a horse.
Oh, fine. Well, Bill, your Thanksgiving dinner's in the pantry, and he's fighting with that silly duck.
Oh, a live turkey? Well, I better go out and break it up. You know, it'd be just like Herman to bite him in the part I like best. Leave it to me, George. Now, wait a minute. Just a minute. Don't you birds realize that you get along better in life if you behave yourself and don't fight? Yes, that's so. Now, you take the case of a little swan I know, Herman. He was a good little bird, and now he's famous. They put his picture on every Swan wrapper, and he's very proud, because Swan is the new white floating soap that gives you all that pure, mild lather so fast. So you see, Herman, it pays to be a sweet little bird. Yes, that's so. Oh, shut up. Oh, now, wait a minute. I didn't mean that, Herman. I meant you should be gentle, like Swan soap is gentle. It's as mild as the finest Castile soap, so mild that mothers use it to bathe their babies, so mild that it's perfect for anybody's bath or shower. So, Herman, why don't you be mild and gentle, too, and put your wing around a cute, itsy-bitsy baby turkey? Why, listen, you little ducky. There's plenty of room for both of you. So instead of fighting, why don't you go half and half? You know, like Swan soap. You break it in two, put half in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning, and the other half in the bathroom for your hands and face. Now do you see what I'm talking about, Herman? Well, what do you say to the little turkey? Hey, ow, cut it out, ow! Well, so long, George. So long, Gracie.
Oh, what's your hurry, Bill?
Why are you limping?
Herman bit me in the part he likes best. Goodbye.
Gracie, go into the pantry and stop that fighting or we'll be thrown out of the neighborhood.
All right, dear. Oh, now, stop that right now. Stop it. Why, shame on you, Herman Burns. That's no way to treat a little girl turkey. Yes, a girl. Herman, isn't she cute? Yes. Why, Herman Burns. You know, sometimes I think you're older than you look. Hey, George.
Gracie. Look, Gracie, our man just delivered all these things. What are they anyway?
Well, they're for the turkey, George. I bought a little tub for it to swim around in, and I also bought...
A tub for the turkey to swim around in?
Well, yes, I thought it would be more humane. The turkey can get used to it by degrees, and it won't be such a shock when the time comes.
Get used to what by degrees?
Well, I'm going to fill the tub with gravy.
Well, that's a brilliant idea. Anything else?
Yes, I bought a sun lamp.
A sun lamp for the turkey?
Yeah.
Well, why did you get that?
Well, mostly for your sake.
For my sake?
Yeah, I know you prefer dark meat.
Gracie, your ideas about raising a turkey are too advanced.
But, George, people shouldn't be afraid to try something new. Suppose Marconi had been afraid to experiment. We'd only have spaghetti.
Oh, sure. Gracie, this turkey is costing me a fortune. Look at these price tags. Tub, $5. Sun lamp, $15. I could have bought 3 turkeys with this.
Come
This
in.
is absolutely ridiculous.
How do
Going
you
out
do?
and buying.
Have you a little turkey and a little duck, as reported by a neighbor?
Well, yes. Why?
May I refer you to Statute 193 of this county? Possession of 2 or more live fowl shall in this county be deemed ipso facto a poultry farm, and such aforesaid property pertaining thereof shall be governed according to Article 38, Section 17 of the laws of said county.
What does that mean?
Cough up $10 for a poultry license.
Well, that does it. I'm going into that pantry, and the next time you see that turkey, he'll have parsley where his feathers used to be.
Oh, but dear.
Come on. I'm going to settle this right now. I knew that this thing would cost me a fortune.
George, look. Herman and the turkey. Herman's got his wing around it.
Well, that's fine. Get this. Love comes to Herman Burns.
George, come inside a minute.
What?
George, I won't let you touch that turkey. It would be inhuman, that's what it would be.
What would be inhuman?
To eat our son's fiancée for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, George and Gracie will be right back, so I've got just a second to remind you to stop in where you see the Swan sign that says buy 3 and save. Take advantage of the big sale on Swan that so many dealers are now running. And don't forget, sale or no sale, you save with Swan. You save because Swan gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested. And you save because Swan goes further than easily wasted packaged soaps. No matter what you use Swan for, it saves you money. So buy 3 bars and save. Well, here they are again, George and Gracie. Gracie's on the phone.
Hello? Is this Harry Morton? Oh, Harry. Harry, will you tell Blanche George is on his way over with a little turkey? He wouldn't let me keep it. It's pretty small, but you can fatten him up. How? Well, just feed a chocolate fudge sundae. Well, sure it'll work. Look at your wife.
Next week at the same time, Eddie Cantor will be George and Gracie's guest, and there's a rumor that Ida might join the Beverly Hills Uplift Society. So the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in. Remember, Swan now brings you 2 of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, hi, Swan. How about you?
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cakes, pies, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say you're going to try today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
Well, this is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, the makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. It's Tuesday night again, and that means another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, their guest Eddie Cantor, and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now, meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, George is a very happy man this morning. He's on his way downstairs now, bubbling over with good cheer, never dreaming that fate is about to slug him. You see, he's forgotten completely that this is the day on which Gracie's club, the Beverly Hills Uplift Society, meets at his house. Well, here he comes like a lamb to the slaughter.
I'm sitting on top of the world and rolling along and rolling. Hey, Gracie! Gracie! Where are you, sweetheart? Sweetheart! Bless her heart. Probably out working in the garden. Hope she left the morning paper in the library. Oh, no. No. It can't be the club. Not on a lovely day like this.
Were you looking for me, dear?
Yes, I was. In spite of all I've said, you brought those dames over here again?
Oh, yes. We're having a marvelous meeting. Did you hear old girls laughing? Vicky Gruskin just told us the funniest joke. Oh, she's so witty.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I'll tell it to you in her own words. I know you'll appreciate it. Two Irishmen named Cat and Mike met each other on the street one day, and...
Well, go on.
We laughed so hard that we never heard the rest of it. Oh, honestly, George, she ought to be on the stage.
Oh, sure. Gracie, all I ask is this. Today, please make the meeting short.
Yes, dear. All right, girls, all right. Girls, come to order, please. The Beverly Hills Uplift Society's third semi-annual meeting of this month will now continue. Our charming secretary will read the minutes of the last meeting. Girls, our secretary. Thank you, girls. The last meeting of the Beverly Hills Uplift Society was held on the sidewalk outside of Mrs. Bagley's house at the request of Mr. Bagley. Mrs. Bagley refused for quite some time to grant his request, but in the end, Mr. Bagley convinced her. By the time the meeting was over, she felt much better, and the swelling had practically disappeared. By the way, Clara, is your husband still annoyed with you?
I don't know, Gracie. He won't be allowed visitors until tomorrow.
Oh, I see. The society then voted on its officers for the coming year, and Mrs. George Burns was re-elected our president. Thank you, girls. The election was very close. In fact, it was a tie. And your president pro tem, Mrs. George Burns, had to cast another vote to break the tie. The final score, Mrs. George Burns received 2 votes, and all you other girls 1 vote apiece. Now, girls, did you all bring in your waste kits and facts today? You know the government needs the waste fats to make bombs and bullets.
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, that's fine. Now turn it over to Tootsie, and she'll take it over to Louie, the butcher.
Well, Tootsie, why do you give us 2 cents a pound more than the butcher does? Aren't you losing money on it?
Yes, but Louis is so handsome. And he says that as soon as I brought in 40,000 pounds, he'll take me to see Gentleman Jim.
That's nice. Now, girls, I have a wonderful surprise for you. I found a woman who's just dying to join our club.
Oh, what is that?
Well, she's a lovely woman, and her name is Ida Cantor.
Is she married?
I think so. I believe her husband's name is Teddy or Freddie or something like that.
Now, Gracie, you know it's the rule of our club never to take in a new member unless we know something about her husband.
Oh, we'll investigate him, all right. I'll tell you what. I'll ask George if he knows anything about him.
That's what I hear.
Well, have you broken up that silly meeting?
Well, not quite, but it won't be long. You can help us if you will.
How?
Well, we want a little information. Do you know a fellow named Freddie Cantor?
Freddie Cantor?
Or maybe it's Teddy. It's one of those names that sound like it belongs to a college boy.
Do you by any chance mean Eddie Cantor?
Yeah, it could be that. Do you know him?
Know him? Of course I know him.
Well, what do you know about him?
Well, he's a very swell guy. He has 5 lovely daughters and...
5 daughters?
Yes.
How many sons?
No sons.
Oh, just 5 daughters?
That's right.
Wouldn't you think he tried taking from a different doctor?
Maybe the doctor had a contract.
Oh.
Why did you want to know about Eddie Cantor?
Well, his wife Ida wants to join our club.
Ida Cantor in your club?
Yes.
Gracie.
Hi, George. Hi, Gracie.
Hello, Bill.
Gracie, here's the welcome song for Ida Cantor. I just finished writing it.
Oh, good.
You want to hear it, George?
Oh, no, thanks. I've got a water friend of mine. He's going to be hit with the club. I'll see you later.
Well, come on, Bill. The girls are waiting.
Okay.
Oh, girls. Look who's here. Bill Goodwin. Girls, that's not much of a reception. Come on. Give them a real Beverly Hills Uplift Club welcome.
Gosh, Gracie, I've always wondered, and now I know.
Know what, Bill?
How Betty Grable would feel on a battleship.
I don't get it.
Well, never mind. Girls, I have that song you wanted, the one to sing in honor of Ida Cantor. Would you like to try it out?
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, come on. Gather around the piano. Now, quiet, everybody. Here we go.
Ida, sweet apple.
Swan's the new white floating soap that gives you mild, pure suds. Takes one swish to wash a dish, and it's great for washing duds. Because Swan gives you heaps and heaps of baby gentle lather, sure it makes gobs of household jobs quicker for mither and father. And Swan is mighty kind to your hands, as pure as the finest Castiles. Why, it's just a soap
Bill, don't you think the song ought to say a little more about Ida?
Oh, well, it's all about Ida from now on.
It is?
Oh, sure, Gracie. We even sing about how Ida goes to the store to take advantage of the sale many dealers are now running on Swan soap. Buy 3 bars and save. You really save, Ida.
Well, I don't know. I'd rather not put that in the song, Bill.
Well, okay, Gracie. I'll leave it out.
Oh, all right, girls. All together on the finish. Because I love you, Ida, please.
Go to your dealer.
We love you, Ida, please.
Buy 3 and save.
We love you, Ida, please.
Look for the green wrapper with the white swan on the front.
We love you, Ida, please.
It's a mild and a pure.
This is Paul Whiten. 17 years ago, I commissioned Ferdy Grofay to write the Mississippi Suite. And from it comes one of our newest song hits, Daybreak. Here it is, with the 6 hits and a miss.
George has just arrived at Eddie Cantor's house to warn him that Ida is joining the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Yes? Oh, hello, George.
Oh, hi, Eddie.
George, come on in. Come on. Sit down, George. What's on your mind?
Well, I'll tell you. There's a club. Oh, by the way, is Ida here?
No, she hasn't been home for 4 days.
4 days?
Oh, it's all right. She's just out shopping for a pound of bacon. Go ahead, George. What were you saying?
Well, you know, Gracie belongs to this club called the Beverly Hills Uplift Society.
Does Gracie belong to that outfit?
Yes, yes.
You poor sucker. Any man who'd let his wife join that organization ought to have his head examined.
You know, Eddie, that's why I came over to see you. Your wife.
I know. My wife is different. But that's because I've trained her, George. When I give orders, Ida jumps. When I say to her, Ida, get your coat off this bed so I can make it, she gets it off.
You're the boss in your house.
You said it. When I tell Ida to move a chair, she moves it. And believe me, she doesn't put it back until I'm through sweeping under it. I know my...
Look, I hate to say
Don't
this.
be ashamed to bring your personal problems to me, George. After all, you and I have a lot in common. I'm in show business. You're in show business. I've been fairly successful. You've been fairly successful. I've got a certain amount of talent. Gracie's got a certain amount of talent.
Eddie, I'm going to try once more.
That's the spirit, son. And let me give you a little tip about why. There's nothing like a good old-fashioned spanking to keep them in line. I know.
You spank Ida?
You bet your life I spank her. Of course, not so much anymore. Not so much anymore. My bones don't knit like they used to.
Eddie, for the last time, Gracie's club...
George, you're a dope to let Gracie belong to that club.
You, Daddy.
Yeah, Janet?
Daddy, did my welding tools come?
They're in the closet. That's daughters for you, George. She's a welder. One's a whack. Another's a wave. One's studying to be a doctor. The other's working in a law office. Now do you see why I'd like a son? I want somebody around to help with the housework. Where were we, George? What were we saying, George?
Well, you were saying I was a dope.
Oh, yes. Now, if I were married to Gracie, I'd have her eating out of my hand. And what's more, I'd throw those club members right out of the house.
Eddie, it just happens that the club is meeting at my house right now.
Yeah?
Would you like to come over and show me how you'd get Gracie to eat out of your hand and how you'd get rid of the club women?
You bet I would. I'll turn those girls out in 2 minutes and say that'll be a new record for me.
What do you mean?
It took me 30 years to turn out the last 5 girls.
Well, here we are, Eddie.
Fine. Now, where's that club meeting? Lead me to him.
Well, just open that door.
Sounds like breakfast at my house.
Well, go on, Eddie. Break it up.
Don't rush me. Don't rush me.
Oh, George, I'm so glad you're home. The funniest looking little man just stuck his head in. Yeah. Oh, there he is again.
Gracie, this is Eddie Cantor.
Who?
I am Eddie Cantor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then you do know who I am.
Well, of course, you're Ida Cantor's husband.
Well, look, most people say that Ida is my wife.
Well, naturally, if you're her husband, how could she avoid it?
Eddie, make her read out of your hand.
Don't rush me.
Mr. Cantor, your being here is a coincidence. The girls were just talking about you.
They were?
Yes, come on into the meeting.
Watch how I handle them, George.
Oh, sure.
Oh, girls, please, let's come to order now. Now, you know what we were just talking about. Well, here he is.
What are they whispering? What are they saying about me?
Well, now, girls, it isn't right to whisper things like that about our guests. Speak right up.
Gracie?
Yes, Clara?
Tell him to close his eyes. I keep thinking of a plate with nothing on it but 2 olives.
Mr. Cantor, please close your eyes.
Now, just a minute. Listen, ladies.
Gracie, are you sure his name is Cantor?
Oh, yes, Tootsie. Why?
He looks just like Mr. Miggs, the only man who ever proposed to me.
Oh, but Tootsie, we all know where poor Mr. Miggs is.
Well, I thought he might have escaped.
You're killing them, Eddie. You're killing them.
Just give me time, George. Now, quiet, girls. Ladies, if my wife belonged to a club like this,
Sit down, Mr. Cantor.
What?
I said sit down.
Yes, ma'am.
What a tiger.
Look, I'm going to ask you some questions. First, Mr. Cantor, your financial status. Are you wealthy?
Wealthy? Are you kidding? Look at my coat. Coffee stains.
Well, that's nice. Now, Mr. Cantor, what business are you in?
What business am I in? I sell pickles.
Oh, wholesale or retail?
I'm on the radio. I'm a comedian.
Oh, really? A radio comedian?
Oh, yes.
Oh. I do it?
I do it? Gracie, don't you recognize me? I'll give you a hint. I'll pop my eyes out. Look.
That ain't the way I heard it?
I better pop them back. Gracie, look at my face.
Are you Augustus?
No, Gracie. Don't you know my voice?
I got a problem, Mr. Anthony?
If you knew Susie like I know Susie, oh, what a girl. There. Does that give you an idea about me?
Well, it certainly doesn't. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Oh, wait till Ida hears about her.
No. Listen. I'd love to spend 1 hour with you. Well, Gracie?
He is a wolf, isn't he, girl? Well, this is amazing. He certainly doesn't look like a ladies' man.
Or any other kind.
Well, girls, you know what I always say. You can't cover a judge by a book.
George, does she always say that?
Only when it rains.
Well, girls, you've all heard and seen Mr. Cantor. Shall we vote on our new member now?
Yes, I think so.
Any discussion?
Well, I'd like to say that if that unfortunate woman has to see and hear him every day, she certainly deserves some pleasure.
What, who? What is this? What goes on here?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Good, it's unanimous. Well, you can go now, Mr. Cantor.
Now, wait a minute. Would you mind telling me what you girls just voted on?
Oh, no, not at all. We just made your wife a member of this club.
Oh, no.
And now here is Jimmy Cash singing There Will Never Be Another You.
There will be many other nights like this, and I'll be standing here with someone new. There will be other songs to sing, another fall, another spring, but there will never be another you. There will be other lips that I may kiss, but they won't thrill me like yours used to do. Yes, I may dream a million dreams, but how can they come true if there will never, ever be another you?
Well, when Cantor found out that Ida had joined the Beverly Hills Uplift Society, he knew that something drastic had to be done. So he sent for Paul Whiteman and me to come over to George's house.
Boys, I've got a great idea to break up this club of Gracie's. We fellas will hold a meeting just like one of theirs. Then when Gracie sees how silly it is, no more club.
Eddie, that's a swell idea.
You mean you want us to act like a bunch of dizzy dames?
That's the idea, Paul. You see, that club is really a threat to all of us. You see, fellas, we're all married men, and there's no telling whose wife will be next.
Well, I don't have a wife. I'm not married.
And we make those girls see how... You're not married?
No.
Well, have a cigar, son. Why don't you come over to the house and meet my daughter, Janet?
Well, thank you, Eddie. I'm very anxious to meet her.
He's anxious.
Come on, Eddie, let's get started. You have
Just a
an
minute.
idea. Well, come on.
Wait a minute. You make a fairly comfortable living, don't you, son?
Oh, sure. You see, I represent Swan, the new white floating soap that's as pure as the finest Castile soaps. Pure as an angel, gentle as a summer breeze.
Sounds like a good job.
Oh, it is.
Eddie, what about the club? What about Ida?
Look, George, I've been trying to get Ida out of the club for 10 minutes. I've been trying to get my daughter out of the house for 10 years. Let me alone, will you, please? What were you going to say, my son, I hope?
Well, I was just going to tell you that Swan is so pure that it's the perfect soap for bathing a little baby. It agrees with even a baby's tender skin.
Already he's thinking of baby.
Come on.
And Eddie, if Swan is that pure and mild, well, you know it's great for your bath or shower.
George, can I use your tub for a minute? This boy is so persuasive, I feel very...
Look, Eddie, this is going far enough. We got to get busy. Gracie may come down any minute.
Just one thing. Bill, my son, if you sell lots of Swan soap, maybe the sponsor gives you a raise. They do that, you know.
Well, maybe.
And Janet needs a new hat. Sell it. Go ahead, sell it.
Well, always remember that you can break Swan in two with a flick of the wrist. Then you can use half in the kitchen for dishes and housework, and the other half in the bathroom for your hands and face.
Well, that's
Hey, break it up. Here comes Gracie.
All right, I'll talk to you later, son.
Now, remember, boys, we've got to be a bunch of daffy dames. We've got to make Gracie break up that club.
Okay, start gabbing.
Okay.
Well,
I was on there with the grocery store. I walked in for potatoes.
And what do you think happened?
Well, hello, Gracie.
Hello, girls. I thought you'd... Oh, hello, boys.
Boys, you all know my wife. Let's give her a real big club welcome.
Oh, thank you, boys. What are you all doing here?
We're about to hold our club meeting, and we're delighted to have you as our guest. And Gracie, you watch. We conduct our meetings exactly the way you do yours. Don't we, boys?
Oh, yes. I love going down to the store the other day.
And boys, please come to order. Paul Whiteman, you're always whispering. What is it now? What do you want?
Well, if you must know. I was telling William that with this rubber shortage, I don't know where to get my girdle.
Well, girdle and no girdle, just pull yourself together. Now, as your president, it is my privilege to open another meeting of the Beverly Hills Downtrodden Society. Now, I'm going to read the meetings of the last meeting. The minutes of the last meeting is as follows. The Beverly Hills Downtrodden Society was held at the home of Mr. Paul Whiteman. Mr. Whiteman prepared a delicious light luncheon for 4, but as usual, he ate it before the other 3 arrived.
It's no wonder all the boys call him Mr. 5x5.
Oh, huh.
Oh, 5.
Oh, stop!
Oh, he started it.
I did not. He started.
You started.
You started.
Why don't you two make up?
Well, if he wants to make up, let him say A.
I won't say A till you say B.
All right, B.
All right, A.
Boys, please! Please, fella, please! Remember our guest. Gracie is liable to walk out of here disgusted and break up her own club. Won't you, Gracie?
Well, no, I think your meeting is wonderful.
Wonderful? Well, don't you think it's kind of silly?
Well, our club was a little silly when it started, but look at us now.
Eddie, more minutes, more meeting.
Leave it to me, George. Well, boys, back to the minutes. Mr. Goodwin made a motion that our next meeting be held outdoors on the corner of Hollywood and Vine, but the motion was voted down.
It was very mean of you, too.
Well, we older boys saw no reason why we should get rheumatism on that windy corner just because Mr. Goodwin likes to watch the girls getting on streetcars.
Oh, I never have any fun.
Oh, you do, too.
No, I don't.
I
am not.
Boys, please, boys. Fellas. Gracie, you'll think we're a bunch of old silly willies.
Oh, no. Well, I can't believe this club has just started. You boys sound like you've been doing this all your lives.
Eddie, it's no use. We're not getting nowhere.
Don't worry, we'll break it down. All right, boys. We'll now hear a financial report from our treasurer, my son, William Goodwin.
Oh, let's hear the report.
Thank you. Well, after the last meeting, I started for the bank with our club fund, $15. And in front of the Palladium, a gorgeous blonde said, "How do?" I said, "How do?" Gene Krupa's music was wonderful, and the club now has 83 cents.
Believe me, if I do say it myself, this is embarrassing. Now I know Gracie won't want to have anything to do with our club or any other club. Will you, Gracie?
Well, you mean your total assets are 83 cents?
Yeah. Isn't that awful?
Awful? Well, that's 80 cents more than we've got.
Eddie, it's no use. I give up.
Not me. I've got one left I can't miss. We'll close the meeting by reciting the pledge of the Beverly Hills Downtrodden Society. Now, all together, boys. Oh, downtrodden society of Beverly Hills, we are thy sons, Eddie, Paul,
George, and Bill.
When business is good or when business is rotten, we'll always be faithful and true and downtrodden.
Gracie, what are you crying about?
Oh, George, that was the most beautiful thing I ever heard.
Well, that does it. All right, Gracie, stop crying. Stop crying. Look, Gracie, we staged this whole thing for you. This club is silly. We don't know how to run a club, so we're breaking this one up. Does that give you an idea what we want you to do with your club?
Well, it certainly does.
You see, George?
Thanks, Eddie.
We girls will be glad to make you boys members of our club.
Wait a minute, you can't do that. We're men.
Well, don't worry about it. We'll make you all honorary women.
Well, I have just a second, so I'm going to suggest that you start using Swan for your dishes. Use it because it gives you all the suds you could ask for faster than you'll get them from any floating soaps. Sure, but use it, too, because Swan is so easy on your hands. It's got to be. It's purer than the finest Castiles. Believe me, money can't buy a purer soap than Swan. And that's a proved fact. And now, Gracie?
Oh, well, Bill, I'm sorry we're a little late. But good night, everybody, and thanks, Eddie.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Remember, Swan now brings you two of radio's top shows. George Burns and Gracie Allen every Tuesday night, and Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou over another network. Now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you?
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pies, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, it's Tuesday night again, and that means another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, today we pick up Gracie at the beauty shop. She is chatting with her friend Tootsie Sagwell.
Well, you mustn't be impatient, Tootsie. That mud pack will do wonders for your face. Do you really think so, Gracie? Well, I'm sure it will. I remember I came home one rainy day and George had tracked mud all over the carpet. Well, after I scraped the mud off, the carpet looked much better.
Gee, I'm so encouraged. I wonder how much longer I'll have to leave it on.
Well, we'll ask Madame Yvette. Madame Yvette?
Oh, oui, madame.
Miss Sagwell would like to know when she can take the mud pack off.
Oh, that will not be possible for 10 more minutes, madame.
Oh, dear, 10 whole minutes?
That is what I said, madame.
Oh, couldn't we do something to hurry it up a little?
Look, I'm telling you it's going to take 10 minutes. There ain't nothing we can do about it, madame.
Well, Madame Yvette, we understand and thanks.
Parlez-vous, madame? Oh, isn't she charming, Gracie? So continental.
Oh, yes, a real daughter of France. I must invite her over for camembert sometime.
Oh, do you like camembert?
Oh, yes. Of course, I never drink much. The bubbles get in my nose.
Oh, how cute.
The French have a quality that no other people have. You know what I always say? Only soit qui mal pense. I wish I knew what it meant.
Oh, what do you care? It sounds marvelous. Gracie, if I ask you a question, will you promise to give me an absolutely honest answer?
Oh, yeah, I promise, Tootsie. Go ahead.
Well, I spend lots of time and money in this shop, and I really want to know now. Do you think I'll ever be beautiful?
Well...
do you think I'll ever be pretty?
Well...
do you think I'll ever be just a little above average?
Well...
Do you think I'll ever be just a little below average?
Of course you will, Tootsie.
Oh, thank you, Gracie.
Oh, I'll bet I know why you're having all these treatments today. You've got a new beau, haven't you?
That's right. Oh, he's divine. You know, I'm taking a course at night school now, and he's my instructor.
What kind of a course?
Automobile mechanics.
Why, that's wonderful.
I'm taking my third lesson tonight, and I simply must look my best. He and I are going to crawl under a truck together.
Well, Tootsie, I have to be going. I hope you make a big hit tonight. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Gracie.
I'm leaving, Madam Yvette. See you Thursday.
Parlez-vous.
Inky dinky. I'll bet she got a shock when I answered her in her native tongue.
Hello, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Bill. Where are you walking to?
Oh, down to Sunset.
Well, I'm driving that way. Hop in. I'll take you as far as my house.
Oh, thanks, Gracie. Gee, you know, Gracie, I'm getting a lot of lifts from girls lately. Only last night I had a funny experience riding in my girlfriend's car.
Really? What happened?
Well, I asked her to stop, so she did. And she kind of put her head on my shoulder, and I was whispering to her.
What were you whispering, Bill?
Oh, you know, Gracie, just cuddly stuff.
Well, like what? Like what?
Oh, you know the same thing George whispered when he was courting you.
Oh. And did she lend you the money?
No, that wasn't it, Gracie. I said to her, Gertrude, would you give me a kiss? And she said no. And I said, would you for a big red apple? And she said no. And I said, would you for a bar of Swan soap? And she said, yes, because Swan is the new white floating soap that's purer than the finest Castile soap. Pure as an angel, mild as a warm spring rain.
So then you kissed her?
Well, I started to, but she slapped me.
Oh, well, you were naughty.
Oh, I'll say I was naughty. I interrupted her before she could finish saying that Swan is so pure it's always kind to your hands. No matter what soap and water job you use it for. Washing the dishes, washing hankies, hose and undies. Any job that calls for loads and loads of mild, pure suds.
Well, what did you do after she slapped you, Bill?
Well, I decided to use caveman tactics. I grabbed Gertrude in my arms.
Oh?
I crushed her to me.
Yes?
A light came into my eyes.
You did?
Yes, it was a cop with a flashlight. Well, he said, all right, you two, break it up, break it up.
What did you do?
Well, we broke it up. She took half the bar Swan, and I took the other half. You know that's easy to do with Swan, Gracie. Just a flick of the wrist, and you get 2 swell cakes of soap. One for the kitchen for dishes and cleaning, and one for the bathroom for your hands and face.
Well, what finally happened, Bill?
Oh, I'd rather not tell you.
Oh, come on, tell me. What did Gertrude say?
Oh, Gracie, I'd rather not tell you.
Well, you'll have to get out now, Bill. You can walk home from here.
You guessed it, Gracie. That's just what Gertrude said. Well, goodbye. Tell George I'll see him later.
All right, goodbye. Oh, I wish George would take Bill aside and have a little talk with him. I bet George could learn plenty. Are you, George? I'm home.
Oh, dear. Did you have to drive the car today? The very first day?
What do you mean?
This is December 1st. Don't you know what started today?
George Washington slept here?
Not a movie.
Oh, of course. How could I forget December 1st?
Oh, sure.
The lingerie sale at the May Company.
Gracie, today is the start of gasoline rationing.
Oh, really?
Honey, don't you remember a couple of weeks ago I went to that school and came home with an ACOG?
Oh, yeah, and I was very proud of you.
Thanks. Very proud of you.
Well, although I did wonder what subject a man of your age was taking.
Gracie.
Oh, I laughed at that dumb Harry Morton. He came home with a B card.
Yeah, very dumb. It should happen to me. Gracie, that ACOG was for gasoline. That means that we only get 4 gallons a week. So we can't do any needless driving.
Oh, I remember now. I read in the paper that the car should only be used for things like driving the man of the house to work.
Correct.
My goodness. We're not going to use any gas, are we, dear?
Don't worry. Don't worry, Gracie. We'll be using it. I only wish I had that motor overhauled.
Overhauled?
That motor was in good condition. It saves gas.
I see. Then it would help if a mechanic overhauled the car.
You bet it would.
Well, I'll be right back.
Where are you going?
Well, I have to make a phone call. Hello, Tootsie? Tootsie, this is Gracie. Tootsie, how many lessons did you say you'd had at that mechanic school? 2? Well, come right over. I want you to overhaul George's car. No, wait. First, I'll have to test you to see if you really know anything about automobiles. Tell me quickly, where is the car's radiator? Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was underneath. Well, hurry, Tootsie. We've got work to do.
This is Paul Whiteman. From Irving Berlin's smash hit, This Is the Army, the boys in the 6 Hits and a Miss have cooked up a mighty military arrangement of This Is the Army, Mr. Jones.
Door closed while we're overhauling George's car. I want it to be a big surprise.
Now, Gracie, remember, I've only had 2 lessons at that school.
Oh, Tootsie, you're just modest. Tell the truth, you've always looked like a mechanic to me.
Oh, you're sweet.
Gracie! Oh, Gracie!
Oh, dearest George, you stop working, Tootsie, and I'll be right back. I'm coming. What is it, dear?
Look, I just got a call from Harry Morton. He told me he'd be waiting for me tomorrow morning. What's it all about?
Well, you'd been talking about sharing rides, so I arranged the carpool.
Oh, well, good.
Now, tomorrow you pick up Harry Morton and Mr. Bracebridge and drop Harry off at the Douglas airplane plant. Then...
Wait a minute. Harry Morton's in the real estate business.
Yeah, I know he is. He only works at the airplane plant to make a living.
Well, that's a smart move.
And now the next day, you pick up Jim Bagley and Mr. Bracebridge, and you drive Jim down to the Venice amusement park.
Wait a minute. What kind of work does he do at the amusement park?
Oh, he doesn't work. His wife has joined the wax, and he gets an allotment from her.
Well, good for him.
Now, the following day, you pick up Harvey Fowler and Mr. Bracebridge.
Hold it just a minute. That Bracebridge has been with me now for 3 days. Where is he going?
No place. You see, he hasn't been feeling well, so his doctor told him to get plenty of fresh air.
Look, I listened to all these arrangements you made for me, and now I would just like
please, don't try to thank me, George. It embarrasses me.
But
I know how grateful you are, so let's just forget it. I'll see you later, dear. Oh, George is such a darling. He takes so little to make him happy. Oh, my goodness, Tootsie, you've done lots of work.
Oh, yes, I've been busy, all right. First, I went over the whole motor with a damp sponge.
Oh, wonderful.
But, Gracie, I had a slight accident. The sponge fell down inside the motor somewhere and got lost.
Oh, well, don't worry about it. Sponges are very cheap.
I took out some of the parts and cleaned them separately. Want to help me put them back?
Well, I'll be glad to. What are these little things?
Oh, those are spark plugs. My instructor says that spark plugs can waste 10% of your gasoline.
They can? Well, let's throw them away.
Oh, now we're making progress.
Well, what's this funny thing over here with the wires coming out of it?
That? Oh, but that's the... that came from... Gracie, are you sure that's part of the car?
Well, it's in the same pile with the other stuff you took out.
I guess I haven't reached that lesson yet.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. We'll just leave it out.
Is that safe?
Oh, perfectly. One little part couldn't keep a car from running. Why, we drove into a garage once for a checkup, and the man told George his motor'd been missing for days.
Imagine that.
Tootsie, I've heard repairmen talk, and I know there's one thing they always do. They tune up the motor.
Oh, I haven't reached that lesson either.
Well, who needs the lessons of that? There can't be but one way to tune up a motor. Hand me that hammer.
All right, here you are.
Oh, I'm sorry, Tootsie, but it's not right.
No?
No, it's badly out of tune. I couldn't even play a simple piece like White Christmas.
Oh, what a shame. Oh, you got grease on yourself, too. Well, I'd better get the tools and start again.
Well, Tootsie, I know what the trouble is. Just look at these tools.
What's wrong with them?
Wrenches, pliers, and screwdrivers. They're no good for us. What we need are a couple of hairpins.
You're right, Gracie.
I'll go in the house and get some.
Gracie, why do you keep running in and out of the house?
Oh, well, I've been out... who, me?
Yes, and how did you get that grease on your face?
Where?
On your face.
Which face?
You've only got one face.
Oh, George, let's not complain. There's a scarcity of everything these days. Well, I've got to go. Goodbye.
Come back here. Have you been fooling with our car?
The car? Oh, George, don't be ridiculous.
Gracie,
George, really, it's getting late and I'm in a hurry. See, it's 1 o'clock already, and I have a lot of things to
Gracie, holy smoke, what was that?
I didn't hear anything.
Come on. We're going out to that garage.
Oh, now, George, please, keep calm. Remember your appendix.
I had my appendix out 3 years ago.
Well, I know, but it isn't right to forget it so soon. After all, it's part of your job.
Come on. Tootsie Sagwell, what's going on here?
Goodbye, Gracie.
My car. What's happened to my car?
Oh, now, George, don't get excited. Your car's all right. See, there it is right there. And there's some more of it over there and some more of it right
car.
there.
Oh, my car.
For his number tonight, Jimmy Cash has selected a song that will never die. Jimmy Cash singing Lovely Lady.
Reaching for moonbeams, oh heart of mine.
Tootsie's instructor is on his way over here to fix the car. He's a wonderful mechanic.
He'll have to be. Look at this mess. Parts of the car scattered all over the garage.
But they're in order, George. Tootsie and I put little tags on each part to tell where it goes.
Some help, that is.
Well, of course it is. See, the tag on this part says UN. That means underneath.
Underneath what?
Underneath the part that's marked OT. That means on top.
Gracie, you and Tootsie are geniuses. That was sheer inspiration.
Oh, well, it takes more than inspiration to be a genius. You have to work hard. Look at J. Edgar Hoover. If he hadn't worked hard, he never would have invented the vacuum cleaner.
Well, this is probably the worst thing you've ever done to me.
Well, our troubles are over now, George. Here comes the mechanic. Right this way, Mr. Mechanic.
Greetings, little lady. Are you the people whose car broke down?
It didn't break down. Your prize pupil, Tootsie Sagwell, tore it apart.
Oh, gracious me, I'm awfully sorry. I'd make her stay after school if she wasn't so ugly.
Well, can you fix the car?
Why, certainly. I'll have it ready to roll in no time, and my name isn't Llewellyn Ross.
Well, okay, Llewellyn, get to work.
Yes, sir. Gee, this car's really a wreck.
A wreck? Why, the upholstery is clean. I cleaned it myself.
That's great. All I do is sit on the nice, clean upholstery, step on the gas, and stay in the garage for 22 years. Now, come on, Llewellyn, get started.
Yes, sir.
Well. So you're Llewellyn, Tootsie Sagwell's boyfriend. I'll bet you're crazy about her.
No, ma'am.
Well, you could do a lot worse than Tootsie.
Possibly, ma'am. After all, I haven't met everybody.
But Tootsie...
Gracie, will you let the man alone? Go on and fix the car.
Righto.
Llewellyn, Tootsie will make some nice man a wonderful wife.
Not this nice man.
Gracie, will you let the man...
Tootsie's a very sweet girl. What if she is a little bow-legged? If she were not neat, she'd wear out 3 or 4 pairs of stockings a week.
Gracie, will you let...
Stockings cost a lot of money,
Gracie, will you let this man alone? I want my car fixed.
Yes, sir. And you must admit that Tootsie's features are well balanced. What if her eyes are too small? Her ears are too big?
Llewellyn, don't pay any attention to her. Finish the car.
Yes, sir.
Remember, Llewellyn, beauty is only skin deep. The girl you marry has to do more than just appeal to your eyes.
Well, if it'll help any, I'll concede that Miss Sagwell smells very nice.
Llewellyn.
Yes, sir.
Now, my mother wasn't the most beautiful woman who ever lived either, but she had something that no other woman had.
And I had to marry it. Gracie, once and for all, will you let the man do his work? I want this car fixed.
Hi, George. Hello, Gracie.
Hello, Bill.
Well, Bill, I'm glad to see you. Gracie, Bill looks chilly. Go into the house and get him a cup of hot coffee.
Oh, all right, dear.
Coffee? What's that?
Well, that's that light brown stuff that used to be dark brown.
Oh, yeah, it's a great drink, wasn't it?
Bill, I had to get rid of Gracie. This mechanic wasn't getting any work done on my car.
Yeah, she was trying to get me married. That's ridiculous.
Now, wait a minute. Just a minute. What's so ridiculous about you getting married?
Oh, no, Bill, not you, too.
Why, marriage is wonderful, Mr. Mechanic. Just picture a little white cottage with a little white kitchen. And by, a little white nursery.
Oh, please, you embarrass me.
Bill, I had enough trouble with Gracie.
And picture this. You peek into the nursery, and what do you think you see?
Does it start with a B?
Why, sure. It's a sweet little precious bar of Swan soap.
There goes my car.
Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than the finest Castiles. You can't buy a purer soap than Swan.
Bill, let the man go to work.
Mister, is that all that's in the nursery? A bar of Swan? Isn't there something else?
Oh, yes.
A little baby?
A little baby. And that's why Swan's there. Because Swan is just perfect for bathing that little baby.
You're right. That does it. Come on, Bill. Outside.
Hey,
outside.
George, let go of my arm.
Outside. And Llewellyn, don't you open this door until this car is finished.
But, George, I didn't get to tell him that Swan's mild, pure lather is kind to even a baby's tender skin. And if it's good for baby, well, it's good for anybody's hands and face, tub or shower. And he ought to know it, so I'm going in and tell him.
Bill, he's fixing my car. Tell me about Swan soap.
Oh, George, you use it every day. I've told you about Swan dozens of times.
I know, Bill, but there was always somebody listening. Look, now the two of us are all alone.
Yeah?
How about giving me the real inside lowdown?
Well, George, if you hadn't asked me, I wouldn't have told you this in a million years. It's great.
It is, huh?
Oh, sure. And every bar of Swan saves you money, you see. Saves in the kitchen because it goes further than easily wasted packaged soaps. And it saves in the bathroom because Swan gives you more soap per penny than any leading toilet soap tested.
Okay. Thanks, Bill. I won't let it go any further.
Oh, that's right. Don't tell it to a soul. I will... What am I saying? Tell it to everybody. I'll shout it from the housetops. Buy Swan. Swan's a great soap. Buy Swan. Swan, the new white floating soap. Buy Swan.
Oh.
Buy
That's really a guy.
Oh, George, where is Bill going? He left without his cup of coffee.
Is that coffee?
Well, no, I was out of coffee, so I heated up a bottle of beer and I put some milk and cream in it. It's all right.
Well, he'll be sorry he missed it. You know, Gracie.
Mr. Burns.
Hey, yes, Llewellyn.
The car's all fixed. How do you like it?
Gee, it looks swell. Say, you really did a great job.
It'll run like a scared wabbit now.
Well, I'll get in and start the motor and see how it sounds.
Now, be careful of the upholstery, George. It took me hours to clean it.
I know. That's funny. It won't start.
Sounds to me like you're out of gasoline.
Oh, that's impossible. I had it filled last night just before the deadline. I've got a full tank.
Not now, George.
What do you mean? There must be gasoline in the car. I can smell it.
Yeah, isn't the upholstery nice and clean?
You didn't.
Yes, I did.
George and Gracie will be right back. Meanwhile, I'd just like to clear up one little point. Many of you women have long considered Castile soaps the standard of purity. So if a soap is pure as Castile, you naturally feel that that's really something. And you're right. Well, Swan is even purer than the finest Castile soaps. So try Swan. Try it for dishes, for every soap and water job in the house. See what it means to your hands and skin to use a soap that's purer than the finest Castiles. Well, here they are again, George and Gracie.
Oh, George, I'm awfully sorry about the car.
Oh, it's all right. But it wouldn't have happened if you and Tootsie realized one thing. There are certain jobs women do, and there are certain jobs men do. Now, overhauling cars, building ships, running steam shovels. Those
I know what those are. And what are some of the jobs men do?
Well, never
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time. Remember, Swan also brings you Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou, Another Night Over Another Network. And now, till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, it's Tuesday night again, and that means another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, Jimmy Cash, and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now, meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie.
Will you answer the door, Gracie? I haven't finished shaving.
All right, dear. Oh, good morning, Mr. Postman.
Good morning, Mrs. Burns. No letters for you this trip. Just that magazine your husband subscribes to.
Oh, how wonderful. George!
Yes, dear.
Your copy of Cowboy Love Tales is here.
Gee, that's great.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought it, Mr. Postman. It's 3 days late, and he's having a fit.
I know just how he felt, Mrs. Burns, because I read Cowboy Love Tales myself. It appeals to all us virile, red-blooded men.
Yes. Now we can finish that serial. Love comes to Oklahoma Tex and find out if Tex marries the school mom.
Yes, that's been preying on my mind, too.
Oh, poor George dreams about it. And it's very embarrassing for me. In the middle of the night, he shakes me and he says, "Ma'am, will you and me ever get hitched?"
I never dream much, Mrs. Burns. I sleep very soundly, and that's one of the things that keeps me in such robust health.
Well, Mr. Postman, you're lucky. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, Mrs. Burns. Remember, keep smiling.
Gee, I'm glad Cowboy Love Tales came. Oklahoma, Texas, in a bad spot. I'll read it right after dinner. Gee, I'm dying to see that magazine.
Say, you know, dear,
Yes?
now that we're staying home nights on account of gas rationing, wouldn't it be nice to make friends with our neighbors?
Well, maybe you've got something there. They really should get to know their neighbors.
Well, I should say, why, before I got married, a man lived next door to our house for 10 years. And not one of us even said hello to him in all that time.
Well, that wasn't right.
Oh, no, it wasn't. And we were mighty sorry we couldn't say we knew him later when he murdered his wife.
Yes, a big celebrity. I hope our neighbors are just plain folks.
Oh, well, all of ours seem like lovely people.
Funny, how little we know about them.
Yeah, the only neighbors I know anything about are the ones who just moved in next door.
Well, what do you know about them?
Well, they sleep in twin beds. He exercises with Indian clubs, and she keeps goldfish.
Oh, you met them?
Oh, no, I watched them unload the moving van.
I say, you could tell all that by the stuff they own, huh?
Oh, sure. For instance, I know they have a daughter they're trying to marry off.
How do you know that?
Well, their sofa has a built-in light switch.
Well, you could be right about that. What else do you know?
Oh, lots of things. I know he's a hair tonic salesman because I saw his samples. I also know the hair tonic's no good.
It's no good.
No, one of the bureau drawers came open and his toupee fell out.
Next time I move, it's going to be at night.
And I know he's very tall because this morning when she hung out the wash, I had to close the dining room window.
Why?
The legs of his long underwear kept blowing in.
You know, Gracie, I don't think it's nice
Hi,
for you...
George. Hello, Gracie.
Oh, hello, Bill.
Glad you dropped in, Bill. Gracie and I were just discussing how to make friends with our neighbors.
Yeah, you know, I'm interested, Bill. How did you and George get to be friends?
Well, Gracie, I was playing golf. I hit a ball in the rough. A fella picked it up. I ran after him, knocked him down, took the ball away. We've been friends ever since.
It never happened. And you didn't knock me down. I stumbled.
Of course, there are better ways of making friends, Gracie. I have one surefire method.
Oh, yeah, what is it, Bill?
Well, you and George go over to a neighbor's house and ring the bell, see? When he answers the door, you say, "Hello, we're Mr. and Mrs. Burns," and you hold out your hand. Now, he reaches out to take it, and suddenly he gasps. "Ah, why, your hand is beautiful. Tell me quickly, what kind of soap do you use?"
Yeah, they always ask that.
Oh, it never fails.
Yes.
But you don't tell them, you see. You don't say that you use Swan, the new white floating soap, the soap that's purer than even the finest Castile soaps, pure as the morning dew.
We don't tell them.
Oh, no, not a word.
No.
Now, George, you've got his curiosity aroused.
Sure.
Well, he says, "Please tell me what kind of soap you use."
Now we tell them.
No, not a word.
Oh, suspense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't even hint to them that because Swan is purer than the finest Castiles, it's bound to be kind to your hands and skin. And that's swell to know, because those pure Swan suds are great for washing dishes and for every soap and water job in the house. But mind you, don't tell him this. Don't say a word. Just look mysterious.
Are you sure this is the way to make him like us?
Oh, positive. Now, he begs you to tell him what kind of soap it is.
I see.
He pleads with you.
I see.
He gets down on his knees. But you still don't tell him.
Oh, please, Bill. Let me tell him.
No, Gracie. You don't even tell him that he can break Swan in two with an easy twist of the wrist and use half in the kitchen for dishes and cleaning and the other half in the bathroom for his hands and face. Instead, you start to walk away.
We're going to leave.
Oh, well, that's what he thinks.
Oh, we stay.
Yes, He follows you down the walk, George. He throws himself across your path. He beats his head on the sidewalk. He tears his hair. Tears stream down his face. Oh, please, he cries. Please tell me what kind of soap you use. I've got to know. I've just got to know.
Oh, Bill, let me tell him what soap we use.
Well, all right, Gracie, go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Bill. It's Swan, mister. It's Swan.
Oh. That does it. The fella is now so grateful, he's your lifelong friend. Now, you see how easy it is to make friends?
That's what you want us to do.
Yeah.
Look, Gracie, here's the way to do it. First, you pick out an impossible name like Tralafass. Chauncey J. Tralafass. Now, you ring the bell and you say, I beg your pardon, but isn't your name Chauncey J. Tralafass? And the fellow says no, because nobody's got a name like that. Then you say, you look like Chauncey. We used to go to school together. And before you know it, he invites you in for a cup of tea, and you get to be friends.
Oh, well, George, that sounds wonderful. I'll go right out and do it.
Good. All right, Gracie, we'll watch you through the window.
Hello, what can I do for you?
I beg your pardon, but isn't your name Chauncey J. Tralafass?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
George, what do I do now?
This is Paul White. Well, this week we've taken an oldie, and the boys have given us 4 new motors. The 6 hits and a miss have added a bomb rack and streamlined the fuselage. And here it is, Johnny Comes Marching Home.
When Johnny comes marching home again, hurrah, hurrah, the people are gonna gather round from near and far. The ladies' hearts will be in a whirl.
You wind up stealing the sergeant's girl.
How they'll carry on when Johnny comes marching home. The bugles play. I hear those marching feet. I hear the drum. He's coming down the street. When Johnny comes marching home again, hooray, 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 we'll give him a hearty welcome and hooray, hooray, he'll wear a medal for bravery.
You wear a smile for the crowd to see.
And we'll all feel good when Johnny comes marching home. Hooray, 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 when Johnny comes marching. Marching home.
Gracie, listen to this. Come to Mom's, gal cried Oklahoma Tex. I'm a-gonna press...
George, put down that magazine.
But, Gracie, I want to see what he's a-gonna.
Look, we started out to make friends with our neighbors, and we're going to call on them right now.
But, Gracie,
Now,
Texas...
put it down,
Oh.
put it down. And we won't go calling empty-handed either. We'll take a cup of sugar and 2 eggs to each neighbor.
Each neighbor? I was looking forward to a little omelet for dinner.
George, have you forgotten this is Meatless Tuesday?
Eggs aren't meat.
Well, they grow up to be meat.
Gracie, chickens and fowl...
George, don't you want to call on our neighbors and make friends?
Of course, sweetheart. But we don't have to go disguised like an A&P market.
Oh, that reminds me. I have a can of waste kitchen fat ready to take to the market. You know, the government needs grease and fats to make bombs and bullets.
Uh-huh.
George, isn't it wonderful that fat will explode? My goodness, Paul Whiteman would make a blockbuster, wouldn't he? Oh, George Burns, you're not even listening to me.
What'd you all say, gal?
Put down that
Oh,
magazine.
Texas in trouble.
We're going to call on the neighbors.
Texas in such
Here,
trouble.
Look, I'll carry the sugar and you carry the egg.
Do we have to take this stuff?
Well, I can't start breaking my family customs now. My father never went to a neighbor's house empty-handed. Or was it the return trip he was always loaded down? Well, anyway, come on.
Gee, it feels silly. A man shouldn't go around leaving eggs at people's houses.
Well, don't think of yourself as a man, George. Think of yourself as an Easter bunny.
Thanks. Now I don't feel silly.
Well, here we are. George, ring the bell. Now, when they open the door, let me do the talking.
Okay. Yeah?
Well, how do you do? We're your neighbors. Everybody is short of eggs and sugar these days, so we thought we'd bring you some of ours.
Oh, a couple of hoarders, huh?
Hoarders?
I'll bet you have an icebox full of bacon and butter.
Well, sure we have.
Gracie, we haven't got any bacon or butter.
Yeah, I know. I'm just showing off.
On your way, hoarder, before I call the cops.
Hey, how dare you talk like that to my husband? He's just as honest as you are, you big crook.
Come on, Gracie, come on.
You better watch what you say. My husband doesn't care if you are twice as big as he is.
Gracie, come on.
He'll give you a good thrashing.
From there?
Well, I hope you're satisfied.
Well, don't worry, dear. We'll try it on another neighbor. Where are the eggs?
Oh, gosh, I dropped them. When I thought I might have to fight that fellow, I reached for my glasses.
Yeah, I know. You just got them on in time, too.
Yeah.
Well, here's the next house, George. Let's try here.
Oh, no. I'm delivering no more groceries to neighbors. I want to see how Oklahoma, Texas...
George!
Oklahoma, Texas in trouble,
George!
you know. Oh, all right.
Now, at this house, I'm going to try something entirely different.
Yes?
How do you do? We're your neighbors. We'd like to borrow a few pounds of coffee, please.
A few pounds of what?
Well, maybe I better explain.
You keep quiet. I knew you were a moocher the minute I set eyes on you.
But you don't understand.
I understand, all right. A few pounds of coffee. Why don't you ask for a few gallons of gasoline or a few pints of blood?
Look, miss, if you'd let me explain
a
what
fine
this
pair of moochers. I'm not surprised at you, mister, but I can't understand how you can let your daughter stoop to a thing like that.
My daughter? Listen, I wouldn't borrow coffee from you if I lived to be 100.
That gives you about 3 months to look around.
She's sweet, isn't she, George?
Sweet? She called you a moocher.
Yeah, I know, but a young moocher.
Gracie, you're trying to do this the hard way. If you want to make friends with somebody, just walk right in and be friendly, that's all. Now you run on home. I'll handle the next one myself.
Oh, all right, dear.
Yeah?
Well, hello there, neighbor. I'm George Burns. I live across the street. I thought I'd drop over and just sort of get acquainted with you.
Yeah?
Nothing like getting to know your neighbors, I always say. Huh, neighbor?
Yeah.
That reminds me, I heard a very funny story today. It seems that two fellas met at a bar, and one fellow said, I live on Elm Street, and the other fellow said, I live on Elm Street, too.
And one guy is the other guy's father.
Yeah, that's the joke, all right. You know the one about the boarder who stopped at a...
Yeah. No more lemon pie.
Yeah, that's the one. Well, did you hear the one about...
The woman on the streetcar?
Yeah, Funny story, huh?
No.
No, I guess it isn't. Say, how do you know all these stories? Are you on the radio, too?
Nope.
In the theater?
Nope.
What do you do?
Mind my own business.
Make friends with neighbors. Phooey.
And now Jimmy Cash gets in the Christmas spirit with I Sent a Letter to Santa.
I sent a letter to Santa. I mailed it carefully. And here's what I'm asking of Santa. Watch over Daddy for me. Maybe he's in Londonderry or on the Western Sea. But if you would make Christmas merry, watch over Daddy for me. Like all girls and boys, I like pretty toys, especially this time of year. But I don't want trains when Daddy needs planes to help Uncle Sam keep the things we hold dear. I'll buy some stamps in the meantime so we can all stay free. But please, Santa Claus, in between time, watch over Daddy for me.
Did Gracie give up? Oh, no. She phoned the neighbors and finally got the Baylesses and the Gibsons over that night for a little get-together. The party is now in full swing and has reached its peak of mirth and merriment.
You and me both, Ethel.
I just can't help it, Gregory. This is the dullest party I was ever at.
Yeah. And what time is it? 12, 1?
It's 9:26.
Oh, murder.
Oh, isn't this a wonderful party, folks? Aren't you glad you came over, Mr. Gibson?
Oh, sure.
Oh, and such fun and so neighborly. Aren't you having a marvelous time, Mrs. Gibson?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I knew you would. Well, when you and your husband finish with those snapshots of our trip to Seattle, I'll bring you something else exciting.
Great.
Well, now, you'll have to pardon me while I talk to Mr. and Mrs. Bayless. Our hostess must keep busy, you know.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. and Mrs. Bayless, isn't this a wonderful party?
Oh, delightful, Mrs. Burns. Simply delightful.
Well, don't forget to enjoy yourself.
All righty. Bert, I could kill you for dragging me to this clam bake.
Don't yap at me. It was your idea.
It was not. You're
Hey,
always...
close it. Here comes Burns with more of those drinks.
Did you get rid of the last one?
Yeah, what a beating those goldfish are taking.
Well, here you are, folks. Just shook up a new batch. Hey, Bill, bring the Bayless something to eat.
Okay, George. Want a cracker? Want a cracker?
No thanks.
Come on, Bill. You're a big help. Want a cracker? Want a cracker? They're people, not parrots.
Have you taken a good look at her nose?
Well, never mind. Hiya, Mr. Gibson. How about another drink?
Yeah.
Well, just yell when you're ready for more.
Only a guy with a C card could make drinks that taste like this.
Then why do you drink them?
I keep hoping they'll put me to sleep. Hey, what time is it? 2, 3?
It's 9:31.
Wow.
Bill, come here a minute.
What is it, George?
Look, I haven't got the heart to tell Gracie, but this party is a mess. Can't you do something to pep it up?
Oh, sure. Listen, I got a routine that's a riot at parties. I hypnotize a woman and then I ask her questions.
Well, all right, go ahead. Nothing can hurt this party.
Okay, George. Folks, I'm going to try a little trick.
Oh, wonderful! Oh.
Mrs. Bayless, do you mind if I hypnotize you?
I'd better ask my husband. Bert, do you mind if Mr. Goodwin puts me in a trance?
Are you kidding?
All right, Mrs. Bayless. Now, look me right in the eye. Now, relax. Relax. There. Now, listen. I can make her say anything I want her to. Suggest a word, somebody.
Umbrella.
Any word at all.
Banana.
Just suggest a word. I can make her say it.
Telephone.
Any word at all.
Swan.
Thank you, little lady.
I almost forgot it, didn't I, Bill?
Yeah, Gracie. Well, I will now make Mrs. Bayless say swan. Mrs. Bayless, listen carefully. What do you use to wash your dishes?
My husband.
No, concentrate, Mrs. Bayless. What can you break in two with a twist of the wrist?
My husband.
Mrs. Bayless, I want you to say Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than the finest Castiles. You know, women have long considered Castile soap the standard of purity, and Swan is even purer than the finest Castile soaps. Money just can't buy a purer soap than Swan. Swan, Mrs. Bayless. Swan.
Oh, come on, Bill. Give her a little hint.
Oh, well, all right, I will. Mrs. Bayless, because Swan is purer than the finest Castiles, it's ideal for bathing a baby. And if it's that pure, well, you know it's great for your complexion and for your shower or tub. Tub, Mrs. Bayless. Think of Saturday night. Think of a big tub full of suds.
My husband.
Some hypnotist.
Hey, Ethel, what time is it? 4, 5?
9:36.
Still Tuesday?
Oh, aren't we having fun, everybody? Now let's all play solitaire.
Gracie, don't look now, but this party is dying on its feet.
Well, yeah, the candy has slackened off a little bit.
Yes.
Oh, but don't worry. I know the very thing to bring it to life. Quiet, everybody. Quiet, please.
Some noise they were making.
Listen, everybody. I've got a wonderful surprise for you. Herman. Oh, come in, dear. Oh, now, folks, I want you to meet my little duck, Herman.
Oh, brother. Poultry yet.
Herman has learned how to recite the alphabet. Go ahead, baby. Recite it. That's right. A, B, C.
That was ABC?
Yes. Go ahead, Herman. What comes next? No. No. That's right. D.
That was D, huh?
Yes. Oh, Herman, darling, you're such a clever little ducky.
Gracie, I'd like to make that kid real smart. Let's stick him in a nice hot kettle of alphabet soup. Go on, go on, go on.
Well, folks, how did you like my little ducky? Wasn't he entertaining? I thought so, too.
Gracie, this party is absolutely awful.
Well, I've got an idea. We'll take all of your cigars and soak them in water, and then we'll pass them out, and when they try to light them, that'll be a scream. Forget it, huh?
I would, yeah.
Well, leave it to me. I've got a wonderful surprise, everybody. I've got a wonderful surprise. My husband is now going to sing.
This I don't believe.
Let's get the duck back.
All right, George. All right, go ahead.
Well, I hope you folks like this little number. I always sing it at parties. From time to time in every clime, blessings come from above. To show name.
Well, goodbye, everybody.
Yes, goodbye.
Well, we've got to go. Good night.
Well,
Good night, Gracie. Come on, don't lock the door.
Well, good night, everybody.
all
All right, there. You can stop now. They're all gone.
Much
They're gone. They're gone. You can stop. Come on, it's all over.
You mean they left while I was singing?
Yeah, I couldn't tap it up, so I decided to break it up.
Gracie, don't ever mention neighbors to me again.
Oh, I won't, dear. Well, it's all over. You sit down and relax, and I'll read to you.
Walking out in the middle of my song. I was going to jazz up the second chorus.
Oh, well, I'll read you all about Oklahoma Tech.
Why, the nerve of those people. What? Oklahoma Tech?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. At last I'll find out whether the schoolma'am accepted them. Go ahead, read.
All right. Come to my arms, gal, cried Oklahoma Tech. I'm a-gonna brand you with a burning kiss.
Oh, so that's what he was a-gonna. Read on.
Oklahoma Tech looked deep into her eyes, into the eyes of Lucy, the schoolma'am. Never had they seemed bluer. Lucy, he said, and he quivered. Lucy, let's you and me travel double harness, honey. Let's you and me put on our feed bags in the same corral. Lucy smiled. Oklahoma.
George and Gracie will be back in a second, so I'm just going to remind you that even though Swan is purer than the finest Castile soaps, it's not expensive. In fact, you save money with Swan. You save in the kitchen because with Swan you don't have to buy easily wasted packaged soaps. And you save in the bathroom because Swan gives you more soap for your money than any leading toilet soap tested. So save money with Swan. And at the same time, see what it means to use a soap that's purer than the finest Castiles. Well, here they are, George and Gracie.
Oklahoma Tech's back slowly away, but the drink-mad and desperado edged closer and closer.
Oh, boy.
Suddenly he thrust the barrel of his gun down Oklahoma Tech's throat, and his finger tightened on the trigger. To be continued.
Darn it. Why do they always do that?
Well, George, how can you read this silly stuff when there are so many worthwhile books? Real literary masterpieces. Right here on our own shelf.
But I love this one.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go to bed. Oh, and bring me my copy of Agonizing Detective Tales with you.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time, when you'll meet a special guest at the Burns home. One of your favorite movie stars, Herbert Marshall. And don't forget, Swan also brings you Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou over another network. And now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Try Spry. You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pie, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, it's Tuesday night again. Time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen, their guest, Herbert Marshall, Jimmy Cash, and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now meet the people who live in the Burns house, George and Gracie. Well, today, Gracie has a luncheon date with her girlfriend, Tootsie Sagwell. We find them now at the Romney Village Gypsy Tea Room. Special luncheon, 45 cents. Tea leaves red.
Oh, isn't this place simply marvelous, Tootsie? So quaint, so gypsyish.
Yes, and I just love this gypsy food. Isn't it delicious?
Oh, wonderful. I've never tasted such corned beef hash.
My pig knuckles are divine, too.
Pardon, madame. I am the Swami. Would the ladies care to have their fortune told?
Oh, crazy laugh.
Oh, I'd love it to. How much do you charge?
Oh, there is no charge, madame. You have merely to order a cup of our gypsy tea, and I will read the leaves absolutely free.
Oh, wonderful. How much is the tea?
$3 a cup, madame.
$3? Oh, my goodness, we're lucky gypsies don't read coffee grounds.
Here is the tea, madame. Now then, I shall start with the fortune of the young lady.
Me?
Perhaps I should start with the pretty one.
Oh, well, I would have lost anyway.
Come on, Mr. Swami. Tell my fortune.
Very well, madame. I see a man in your life. No, wait. It is not a man. Yes, it is a man. Or is it?
Well, isn't that wonderful, Tootsie? He sees George already.
Yeah.
And this man's name, it starts with a G.
Well, now that's uncanny. How on earth did you know?
The leaves are infallible, madame.
Oh, I just can't wait. Read my fortune now, Mr. Swami.
Very well, madame. Oh, my. I see trouble for you in the future. It is something about taxes, I think. Income taxes.
Why, this man is amazing.
Isn't he, though? And I know he's right because there's a letter from the tax department sticking right out of your handbag.
Oh, Gracie, you know, you're so lucky you're married to George. You don't have to worry about income tax.
I know. Oh, gee, Tootsie, I hope you get married soon so you have a dependent, too.
Mr. Swami, what else do you see in the teacup?
I see someone coming into your life in the very near future, madame. It is a man.
Oh, that's nice. A man?
Yes, a handsome man, and well-to-do. He will cross your path soon.
Oh, Tootsie, isn't that thrilling? Isn't that wonderful? What's his name, Mr. Swami?
His name... I cannot see his name.
Oh, just tell me the initials of this handsome man.
Handsome man... H.M.
H.M.
I don't know any H.M., Gracie.
Well, neither do I, Tootsie. Except, oh, gee, could that be possible? You, Tootsie Sagwell, ruling over all those people?
Gracie, what are you talking about?
Everybody bowing? Oh, no, of course I forgot.
Forgot what?
His Majesty is already married. George, put down that Western magazine and answer me. I said hello.
Oh, howdy, gal. Come into the corral and set a spell.
I wish you'd stop reading cowboy love tales.
But, sweetheart, it's the best magazine on the market.
Well, maybe so, but it's doing awful things to our married life. Gee, I'll never forget when I stopped at that perfume counter at the May Company. You said, "You don't need that there stuff, gal. You already smell like a newborn calf to me."
Well, that's a compliment. Oklahoma Tex always says that to Lucy.
Oh, forget Oklahoma Tex.
Forget Oklahoma Tex.
Forget him.
I'm crazy about him.
You know, Tootsie Sagwell and I had our fortunes told, and a dream man is coming into her life. Isn't that exciting? George, put down that magazine.
Yeah? Okay, I was listening.
Well, what did I say?
That you bought a new hat.
That's not what I said.
Well, it never missed before.
I said I'd been to a fortune teller.
Well, that's nice.
Say, George, do you know any wealthy, glamorous, fascinating man whose initials are H.M.?
Yes.
Who?
Harpo Marx.
Oh, George, he wouldn't do. A girl couldn't be happy with a man who just sits there and honks at her. Anybody else?
H.M. Well, Herbert Marshall.
Herbert Marshall. Yes, he's wealthy, glamorous, and fascinating. Yeah, that's he. Oh, thank you, George.
Gracie, what's this all
Oh,
about?
he must be the H.M. the fortune teller was talking about. The lover chosen by fate, the dream man.
He told you about a lover? A dream man? Gracie, I always thought that I was just...
Only a man like Herbert Marshall could make up for all those dull, monotonous years.
Well, Gracie, granted, I'm not...
George, you just don't realize that a girl can be starved for romance.
Stop.
Oh, it's marvelous, George, just marvelous. Well, I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Upstairs to put on my very best dress.
Gracie.
And then I'm coming right down and I'm going over to Herbert Marshall's house and fix up a date.
Gracie, come back here. Please come back. Gracie! Gracie!
George, I heard you yelling clear out on the porch. What's the matter?
Well, it's Gracie, Bill. She's leaving me. She said I wasn't attractive. She said I wasn't a dream man.
Gracie said that?
Yes.
Well, gee, and imagine those millions of people who think of her as a nitwit.
Don't be funny. My wife is leaving me for Herbert Marshall. Step aside. I'm going upstairs to break this up.
Oh, no, George. That's exactly the wrong thing to do.
It is?
Oh, sure. Now, let me tell you how a friend of mine handled a situation when his wife left him.
How?
Well, he put a notice in the personal column of every newspaper, and it said, "Darling wife, all is forgiven. Come home to hubby, and he'll buy you Swan, the new white floating soap that's purer than the finest Castile soaps. Pure as an angel."
Oh, Bill,
But George, it worked. It not only worked for my friend, but 10,000 other wives came home to their husbands. They did.
Bill, you're worse than I am. Look, Bill, I'm going to talk to Gracie.
No, now wait, George. I don't say that plan will get Gracie back from Herbert Marshall. In fact, I don't think it will.
You don't?
Oh, no, you'll have to go further. You'll have to say that because Swan is purer than the finest Castiles, you can use it to help safeguard your hands when you wash dishes or do any other soap and water job that comes along. And those mild, pure Swan suds will really get your work done, too. Just put that in the personal column.
Oh, fine friend you are. Talking about Swan. And my heart is breaking.
Well, I'm sorry, George. And believe me, my heart is breaking for you. Breaking like a bar of Swan, which you know you can break in two with an easy twist of the wrist.
Out.
And use one half in the kitchen for your dishes and house cleaning.
Out. Gee, he drives me crazy.
And the other half in the bathroom for your hands and face or for your tub and shower.
Out. Gee, even Bill hinted that I'm not so attractive anymore. Maybe I don't smile enough. I'll bet very few people know I've got dimples.
How do I look, George? Do you think he'll be impressed?
Gracie, are you really going through with this?
Well, yes, why shouldn't I?
Well, okay, before you go, answer just one question.
All right.
What's Herbert Marshall got that I haven't got?
Oh, well, George, look, I'm in a hurry now. Let's discuss that sometime when we've got the whole day together.
The boys and the Six Hits and a Miss woke up singing this morning, and what do you think they had in their mind? It was, "I had the craziest dream."
In my dreams, the strangest things appear. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I had the craziest dream last night. Yes, I did. I never dreamt it could be, yet there you were, in love with me. I found your lips close to mine, so I kissed you, and you didn't mind it at all. But when I'm awake, such a break never happened. How long can a guy go on dreaming like I? If there's a chance that you care, then please say you do. Baby, say it and make my craziest dreams come true.
Well, Gracie has rushed over to Herbert Marshall's house to inform him of his romantic future. She knocks at the door.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello, Mr. Marshall. Mr. Marshall, do you remember me?
Well, of course I do. You're Gracie Allen. How's, oh, isn't that annoying? I know your husband very well, but I can't recall his first name.
Well, it's George.
Yes, so it is. Imagine me forgetting good old George Allen.
Oh, Mr. Marshall, it's George Burns.
Oh, yes, of course.
I guess you got George confused with my father.
Well, that is a possibility. Won't you sit down?
Well, thank you. I'm glad you remember me, Mr. Marshall. I don't like to ask favors of strangers unless I know them.
I see. You have a favor to ask?
Well, yes. I went to a fortune teller today, and he said you're Tootsie Sagwell's dream man.
Tootsie Sagwell?
Uh-huh.
Is that a woman?
It certainly is. Here, this is her picture.
I repeat, is that a woman?
Well, just think, out of 100 million men, the fortune teller picked you for Tootsie. Isn't that thrilling?
Blood-curdling. But, Gracie, fortunately for me, I do not believe in fortune tellers.
Well, how can you say that? Why, a fortune teller once told my mother that she was going to take a trip across water.
And did she?
The very next day. Mm-hmm. She was scrubbing the kitchen floor and she fell over the pail.
Amazing.
But, Mr. Marshall, you were meant for Tootsie. Thank you.
No, but Gracie.
Oh, you and Tootsie have so much in common. She's an actress, too.
Really?
Oh, really? At our club last week, she did an impersonation of Gypsy Rose Lee.
Oh, please.
Oh, it was so exciting. The orchestra played the strip polka, and Tootsie came out, and all the men in the audience yelled, "Keep it on! Keep it on!"
Yeah, I can see their point. You know, Grace, I simply can't have a love affair with this Miss Sagwell.
You won't be Tootsie's dream man?
Frankly, I have neither the time nor the courage.
But, Mr. Marshall, the fortune teller...
Gracie, it would take more than a fortune teller to make me go out with a creature like that.
You'd need a more important reason.
I certainly would.
Oh. Well, then I guess I'll have to tell you the truth.
The truth?
Yes. I'll bear my shame. I hoped I'd never have to tell this to anybody.
Good heavens, what is it?
Well, I want you to take Tootsie away from George.
What? You mean George and this Tootsie?
Yes. Oh, please don't tell anybody, especially George.
Well, I can't believe it.
Oh, well, don't blame Tootsie. It's not her fault. George pursues her.
The bounder. How can you live with a man? He's a cad.
Yeah, I know. But he's the cad I'm used to.
Now, don't cry, Gracie.
Oh, dear. Nobody will help me.
Wait, Gracie, I'll help you. I'll do it. I'll make love to this Sagwell person if it'll save your home.
Oh, thank you. I'll arrange everything.
Now, goodbye, child. That beast doesn't deserve a sweet, innocent girl like you.
Yeah, I know. Goodbye.
Gracie!
Why, George, what are you doing here?
I followed you. What were you doing in Herbert Marshall's house?
Well, it's a short cut to the market.
A short cut to the market?
Well, you get me so nervous.
Gracie!
Well, all right, I'll tell you. We just arranged a little date for tonight.
Well, that settles it. I'm going in there and tell that wolf a thing or two.
George!
Yes? Oh, it's you.
You're darn right it's me. My wife was just here. Do you deny it?
Denied? Why, of course not.
And do you deny you just arranged a date?
No.
But, as one friend to another, what's your opinion of a man who'd break up a home?
George, let's face it, you're a complete and utter stinker.
I'm a stinker?
Unquestionably. I've seen the woman who's involved in this affair, George. Is she worth all this?
She is to me. Why, there isn't another one like her in the whole world.
That I will guarantee. Don't be a fool, George. Give her up.
Never.
But look at it from Gracie's side a moment. She's too nice to have her life ruined. She deserves only the best there is.
Brother, are you conceited?
Now, George, what do you see in this Tootsie Sagwell?
Tootsie Sagwell? What's she got to do with it?
Well, aren't you in love with Tootsie?
In love with Tootsie? No. I go steady with Boris Karloff.
No, but Gracie said she wanted me to take Tootsie away from you. That's why she arranged a date for us.
Gracie arranged a date for you and Tootsie?
Yes.
Oh, now I get it. This is another scheme of Gracie's to help Tootsie. You see, Tootsie is dying to get a husband.
Well, she's insane to ask for volunteers. She ought to try selective service. Anyway, this lets me out of the date.
Now, wait a minute, Bart. I can't spoil this date for Gracie. She'll never forgive me. You've got to go through with it.
But, George, look at that picture.
Bart, it's only one night out of your life, and it'll save my neck.
Oh, well, if it means that much to you.
Oh, thanks, Bart. I knew you'd do it. See you tonight.
You don't suppose Tootsie will make love to me, do you?
Well, she might.
Oh, murder. Now I know what a commando has to go through.
Well, Jimmy Cash has cooked himself up a mighty tasty arrangement of I Cared a Little Bit Less. And here it is, Okay, Jimmy.
Maybe I haven't a chance. Maybe you don't even care. Baby, is this a romance or a one-sided love affair? I wouldn't feel so lonely for someone I love and adore if I cared a little bit less and you cared a little bit more. I wouldn't cry my heart out for kisses I miss at your door if I cared a little bit less and you cared a little bit more. It all would be so simple if you were me and I were you. You'd realize what love is and you could see my point of view. Oh, darling, time's a-wasting when heaven is only next door. 'Cause I'll never care any less. Won't you care a little bit
Well, Tootsie ought to be here any minute, Mr. Marshall. Aren't you thrilled?
I've got goose pimples, if that's what you mean.
Oh, I hear footsteps on the walk. She's here.
Now, Bart, act like you're glad to see her.
George, I'm as hammy as the next, but frankly, I'm not that good an actor.
Here she is.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. Well, I must say you're better looking than your picture, Tootsie.
Huh?
Oh, no, that isn't Tootsie. That's Bill Goodwin. You can tell them apart easily, Mr. Marshall. Tootsie's taller.
Oh, I see.
Bill, this is Mr. Herbert Marshall.
Oh, how do you do? Herbert Marshall? George, isn't this the wolf who's trying to wreck your home?
Well, Bill, it's all
now,
right.
quiet, George.
But
this is what friends are for, to handle these affairs of honor. Mr. Marshall, I challenge you to a duel with pistols.
Well, I better warn you, I'm the best pistol shot in the state.
Oh, well, I challenge you with sword.
I happen to be an expert swordsman.
Oh. Well, I challenge you to find a purer soap than Swan. Women have long considered Castile soaps the standard of purity, and Swan is even purer than the finest Castiles. Money can't buy a purer soap.
Look, Bill, you don't have to worry about Herbert Marshall taking Gracie away from me.
Oh,
You see,
George,
the whole
I'm
thing-
not thinking of you.
Oh.
You can find another woman, possibly. I'm thinking of the babies.
Babies? What babies?
All babies, Mr. Marshall. Swan's great for bathing them. Because after all, if Swan is purer than the finest Castiles, well, it's bound to be kind to even a baby's tender skin.
Bill, Herbert Marshall bathes very few babies.
Well, all right.
Probably doesn't bathe over 3 or 4 babies a year.
Well, all right.
He and Ronald Coleman put together.
Well, all right.
And you can throw in Lawton.
But remember, if Swan is kind to a baby's tender skin, then it must be swell for anybody's hands and face, anybody's complexion, anybody's bath or shower.
Mr. Goodwin, a few moments ago you were talking about a duel. What happened?
Duel? Oh, yes, forget it. I accept your apology. Well, goodbye, Mr.
Ah, eccentric fellow, isn't he?
Yes, we love him, too. Oh, goodness, I wish Tootsie would get here. You must be all on edge, Mr. Marshall.
I definitely am.
She's probably having trouble with the new makeup I suggested for her nose. Blue, green, yellow crayon.
On her nose?
Well, yes. I got the idea from an article on camouflage. Those colors will make a 16-inch gun fade into the background.
Believe me, Bud, it'll be an improvement.
This must be Tootsie now. Come in. Gracie, darling. Tootsie Sagwell.
Oh, Gracie, you said you had a surprise for me. What is it?
Well, here it is. Your dream man, H.M. Herbert Marshall.
Herbert Marshall? Oh, he's beautiful.
George, I think I'm about to faint.
Buck up, kid.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Marshall? I'm so glad you're mine, you lovely, lovely man.
Miss Sagwell, please put me down.
Do I have to, Gracie?
Well, Tootsie, I guess you'd better. Here, put him on the sofa.
All right, there. You comfy, Herbert?
Do you realize you're sitting on my lap?
Oh, sure.
Well, George, turn out all the lights. I just know they want to snuggle.
No. I beg of you, don't turn them off.
No, leave them on. My dream man and I want to look at each other. Look at me, Herbert.
George.
Yes, Bud.
You may turn them off.
You're safer this way.
Miss Sagwell, do you realize you're squeezing me very hard?
Oh, sure.
Well, I wish you wouldn't. It's rather warm in this room, isn't it?
Kiss me, Herbert.
I'm getting warmer. George, is this house heated by an oil burner?
Yes, it is, Bud.
Kiss me, Herbert.
George, you should really cut your thermostat down to a temperature of 65 degrees. The government is asking all homeowners to do that in order to prevent a more serious shortage of fuel oil this winter.
Well, that's right. I'll do that. Anything else you'd like to mention?
No, that's all.
Kiss me, Herbert.
As I was saying, you should put the thermostat as low as possible at night and leave it there until morning.
Kiss me, Herbert.
And keep it low in the daytime if the family is going to be out.
Kiss her, Herbert.
And never heat any bedrooms.
Kiss me, Herbert.
And you can save 10% of your fuel by drawing all your window shades and drapes at sundown.
Herbert?
Yes, Miss Sagwell?
That's enough courtship. Let's get married.
George, may I see you a moment, old man?
Sure, Bud. What is it?
George, you've simply got to get me out of this. That woman, and I use the term loosely, has a gleam in her eye that I don't like.
Well, gee, Bud, you're an actor. Make up an exit.
Well, I'll try. Oh, Miss Sagwell.
Yes, Angel Pie.
Oh, me. Miss Sagwell, before we go any further, there is something you must know about me.
What?
I have a past, Miss Sagwell. I have lived.
Is that all? Oh, it should happen to me.
No, you don't understand. It all happened when I was but a lad. What did I know of the city or its evil ways? Then she came into my life.
Who?
She.
Oh, her.
Yes. It wasn't my fault, I swear it. How was I to know there was anything more than harmless 7-Up in that glass?
Oh, she didn't.
You don't know her.
Who?
Her.
Oh, she.
Yes. Gad, how I hated myself in the morning.
Women are beasts.
Yes, they are.
Well, you'll never find a nicer beast than Tootsie.
Oh, Herbert, forget your past. All I want to hear are those 3 little words that tell me how you feel about me.
Very well.
Say them.
Goodbye, Miss Sagwell.
Herbert! Mr. Marshall, come back.
Stop it. Herbert Marshall never had any idea of marrying Tootsie. And goodbye.
Oh, dear. I don't know what.
Oh, no, don't cry, Tootsie. There isn't any reason to cry.
I can't help it. I can't get a feller.
Fortune tellers are never wrong, Tootsie. Someday your HM will come along.
I won't even be here if he does. He'll probably throw me in jail on account of my income tax.
Oh, no, they won't, Tootsie. Let's see that letter from Washington.
Here. I was just born under an unlucky star, that's all.
Tootsie! He's come into your life, HM. The fortune teller was right. Huh? Well, look at the signature on this letter. Henry Morgenthau.
George and Gracie will be back in just a second. So all I have time to say is this. When you buy Swan, you not only get a soap that's purer than the finest Castile soaps, you get a soap that gives you all the suds you need for any soap and water job in the house. Faster than other white floating soaps. Use Swan for the dishes. Use it for your hankies, hose, and undies. Use it in place of easily wasted package soaps. Use it in place of expensive toilet soaps. Yes, and use Swan knowing that it really is purer than the finest Castiles. Well, here they are, George and Gracie.
Gracie, this is no time of the night to bother Herbert Marshall.
But this is important. Hello.
Oh, no, not again.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that poor Tootsie can't sleep a wink.
Well, surely I'm not responsible for that.
Oh, yes, you are. You left our house in such a hurry you forgot your derby hat.
Well?
Well, Tootsie's keeping it under her pillow.
Come on.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time, when their special guest will be that bad man of the movies, Akim Tamirov. Remember, Swan also brings you another radio stop shows, Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou, over another network. Now, till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night.
Try Spry.
You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pie, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say you're going to try today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
This is Bill Goodwin speaking for Lever Brothers, makers of Swan, the new white floating soap. Well, it's Tuesday night again. Time for another pleasant visit with George Burns and Gracie Allen. Their guests are Akim Tamirov, Jimmy Cash, and Paul Whiteman and his music. And now here are the 6 hits and a miss, singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
You better watch out, you better not cry, better not cry, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He's making a list and checking it twice, gonna find out who's naughty and nice. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. You better watch out, you better not cry, better not pout, I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
And now meet the people who live in the burnt house, George and Gracie. Well, it's only 2 more nights till Christmas, and Gracie has already started to trim her tree. But as she hangs the ornaments, there's a worried look on her face. Her little duck, Herman, hasn't come home yet.
Oh, George, I wish you'd go out and hunt for the poor baby. It's way past his dinner time.
Oh, calm down, Gracie. Even with the meat shortage, nobody would want that darn duck.
But he's never been out this late before, except that time he flew up on the Morton's clothesline and crawled into the seat of Mr. Morton's union suit.
Fine place for that kid to fall asleep.
We mightn't have found him at all if Mr. Morton hadn't been ticklish.
Gracie, will you stop worrying about that silly duck? Come on, let's finish trimming the tree.
Oh, all right, dear. Hand me that big silver star and some of those little twinkles. Oh, George, I hear him on the porch. Open the door. Oh. Come to Mama, darling. Why, you're frightened to death. And some of your tail feathers are missing. How did you lose them?
You did not lose them. They're here in my hand.
Oh, my goodness. Who are you?
I am Akim Temirov.
What are you doing with Herman's tail feathers?
It was a mistake. I was reaching for his neck.
That's awful. My husband will take care of you. George, throw him out.
But, Gracie, it's Christmas and...
This broken down excuse for a man is your husband?
Don't you say that. I happen to love this broken down excuse for a man.
Well, thanks.
Now look. I'm sneering at your husband.
Hey, you can't do that. You can't come into my house and sneer at me.
I'm in the house, no?
Well, yes.
And I'm sneering, no?
Well, yes.
And you're going to stop me, yes?
Well, no.
That's telling him, dear.
Mr.
Temirov, I demand to know why you were chasing Herman.
Because in my yard I have a pond which used to be full of little goldfishes. Now you have a duck which is full of little goldfish.
Well, I don't believe it. Herman wouldn't do such a thing. He's a sweet, innocent little angel, aren't you, baby? And he didn't eat any of your goldfish, did you, baby? Mr. Temirov, you should be ashamed of yourself, feeding goldfish to a delicate little baby duck. They might gild his little tummy.
I hope so.
Madame, I'll give you a word of warning. In the future, my yard is Stalingrad and that duck is Hitler.
Is that so?
It is so. If I ever catch him, we shall see if a duck can swim in sour cream.
Oh, yeah? Well, you're just a mean man, and I hope you fall in your goldfish pond and catch cold and drown.
Gracie, it's Christmas.
Oh, yeah. And Merry Christmas.
Oh, fine.
Now, just remember, if that bird comes near my house again, я эту паршивую утку схвачу за горло и задушу своими руками.
Well, George, what did he say?
Well, I don't know. He's a Russian. I suppose that's what a Russian says when he's mad.
Oh, no, it isn't. When a Russian's mad, he says, how do you do?
Eating the neighbor's goldfish. Why don't we trade that silly duck in for a pound of pork chops? Go on. You finish the tree yourself. I'm going into the den where I won't have to look at that web-footed goldfish bowl.
Now, baby, don't mind your daddy. He's this way every year. Just before Christmas, he tries to pick a fight with everyone on his gift list. Here, climb up on Mama's lap, Herman, and I'll tell you a little story. That's a good boy. Now, what did I see here about Santa Claus? Santa Claus. He's the man who brings toys to all the children. The night before Christmas, Santa Claus comes down the chimney and leaves lots of things in your stocking. This year, Mom'd be happy if he just leaves some stockings. Oh, just think, Herman. Right now, Santa is getting his presents ready to deliver to all the good little boys and girls. Wouldn't it be wonderful if you could see Santa's workshop way up in the North Pole? Oh, the poor baby has fallen asleep. Oh, no wonder. He's had a hard day. Oh, dear. I think I'll take a little nap myself. So nice in front of the fire. When I wake up, I'll tell him more about Santa Claus. And the North Pole. And the toys. And Santa Claus. George! Oh, George! Are you ready to leave for the North Pole?
Yes, sweetheart. But how will we get up there to the North Pole?
Well, we'll fly up on Herman's back.
On Herman's back?
Oh, sure, he's all ready. I just put 4 gallons of goldfish in his tank.
Well, good. I'll call him. Oh, Herman! Herman Burns! Ah, there you are. Is you Daddy's precious little itty-bitty ducky-wucky Herman? Well, you're a sweet little ducky-wucky, and your daddy loves you.
Well, gee, I must be dreaming.
Well, come on, Gracie. On the duck's back.
All right. Boop, I'm on.
Well, where am I going to sit?
You have to sit on his rumble seat.
Gee, am I going to get that pot again for Christmas? All right, I'm ready.
Okay, Herman, take off.
Gee, he can't make it.
Oh, no wonder he can't take off. His rudder is dragging. Oh, here we go. My, this certainly is the way to travel, Judge. Well, look, we're over San Francisco already. See, there's Mama's house. Yoo-hoo, Mama!
Gracie, she can't hear you.
Oh, sure she can. Look who's with me, Mama. George. Of course you know him, Mama. It's George. You know, the man I married anyhow.
Dear old mother. She's a sweet, sweet girl. Say, we're really making time. Look, we're over Canada already.
Oh, yes. And here comes Alaska.
Yeah, and there's... Oh, pooh.
Oh, George, that wasn't nice.
Gracie, we were over Kiska.
Oh. We must be nearly there now, George.
Yeah, there's Santa's place right down there. Okay, come in for a landing, Herman.
Well, that was perfect, Herman. We're right in front of Santa's workshop. Now we'll all go in and see good old Kris Kringle himself, huh? Oh, you love him, Herman. He's so gay and so jolly. Why, Santa Claus.
Greetings, little lady.
Now, buck up, Chris, old man. What's the trouble?
Oh, last in a whack, my Christmas is ruined. This year it will be a complete flop over.
Please don't cry anymore, Santa Claus. The tears are running down on your pretty red suit. And if your suit fades, you'll lose your job in the May Company window.
All right, I'll stop. But I have no toys for the little ones this Christmas.
Oh, dear.
Wait a minute. Santa Claus, why haven't you got any toys for the kids?
Because a wicked pirate stole them.
The wicked pirate? Well, don't worry. My husband will get those toys back. He'll take that mean old pirate and smack him down, won't you, George?
But, dear, it's Christmas. And...
Well, smack him under the mistletoe.
Oh, I'll try it.
We'll leave right away. I'll tell my assistant to take care of things while I'm gone. We're going out to look for the wicked pirate. You look after things.
Okay, Chris, I sure will.
Well, that's Bill Goodwin. Bill, don't you know me? Tracy.
Why, no, I don't believe we've met before, madam.
But you're Bill Goodwin.
Oh, no, not me. I'm one of the Kringle boys, Irving Kringle. How do?
Irving Kringle?
Are you sure you're not...
Gracie, let him alone. Don't you see he's busy working? What's all the black stuff you're washing?
Oh, that? Well, that's snow.
But it's black.
Well, sure it's black. That's the way it comes out of the mine. You see, it's white when we deliver it because I wash every flake. Didn't you know snow is really black?
Why, no.
Southerner.
Bill, how do you wash it? I mean, Irving.
Well, sit down at the piano, Santa Claus, and let's tell him about it.
Oh, I...
Beat it out on the old 88, Santa. Why, Santa, you got a cannon in your left hand.
I'm in a groove tonight.
You solid are, Santa. Now everybody wants a white Christmas this year, so I'm a-washing all the snow so pretty and clear. With Swan, the new white floating soap, I wash it with zeal, 'cause Swan is even purer than the finest cast steel. Rub-a-dub-dub, Swan is the grandest soap, rub-a-dub-dub.
Swab me with Swan.
Because Swan soap is purer than the finest cast steel, it's kind to your hands and gives them extra appeal. It's great for washing dishes, washing hankies or hose, or any other soap and water job you propose. Rub-a-dub-dub, Swan is the grandest soap.
Whoop-yup-dub, swab me with Swan.
Now, Swan has got a feature that you cannot resist. You break a bar in two with just a twist of the wrist. Use one half in the bathroom for your shower or tub, the other in the kitchen, and you won't have to scrub. Rub-dub-dub, Swan is the grandest soap.
Whoop-dub-dub, swab me with Swan.
Rub-dub-dub, Swan is the grandest soap. Rub me mama with a bar of Swan soap.
We're off to get the toys back from the wicked pirate.
Oh, hope we catch him. He's probably planned his escape pretty carefully.
Oh, don't worry about that, Santa. You know what I always say? The best planned men are oft-times nice and lay after glee, gang.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Isn't that?
Well, I better call my reindeer, and then off we'll go in this way. Hey, transportation, we port. Whoa, boy.
Oh, George, look at Santa's reindeer. There's Dancer and Prancer and MacArthur and Doolittle and Comet and...
Wait a minute. MacArthur and Doolittle? You mean Dunder and Blitzen?
Not this year.
Oh, it's a bad year.
In this way, everybody, we're ready to leave.
Well, Herman, you sit up front, and if you see the pirate's boat, you yell, Mama, Mama. That's right.
Well, we're off. Giddy up, gang.
Wonderful. But Santa Claus, aren't we going too fast?
Oh, no, we're only going 32,000 miles an hour.
Oh, well, just so we stay under 35.
I guess so, yes.
Where? Oh, Herman, that's not a pirate ship, that's a stork.
What kind of a stork is that? It's carrying a T-bone steak.
Well, of course, George. Today, that's a real bundle from heaven.
You know... I kind of knew steak was high, but I didn't think it was up here.
Now, Herman, don't say Mama until you see the pirate ship. So, just keep a good watch, and then... Oh, what was that?
It's the pirate ship. They're firing rockets at us.
Yeah, we're right over it. Look out! Here comes another one.
Oh, they almost got us that time.
We say it.
They can't frighten us. We'll go down and get them with my machine gun.
Oh, they got us.
We're falling.
Oh, Gracie.
We landed right in the middle of the pirate ship.
Come on, you swabs. Up on your feet.
Oh, George, look who the wicked pirate is. It's Mr. Tamirov.
Yes, better known as Tamirov the Terrible. They call me that because I am.
Listen to me, Walk the Terrible. I'm Santa Claus, and I want my toy.
such a funny fat man. Hey, Spanish Joe.
Sure, what would you be on after now? Tamirov the Terrible.
Is that skinny prisoner? Is that skinny prisoner still complaining because his cell is too small?
Yes, and that he is.
Well, take him out and shoot him. And put the fat man in.
Oh, please.
A plump little bird. Put him in a cell with the fat man, Spanish Joe. Tonight I will have pressed duck.
Hey, you're mean, aren't you?
Well, my friend, I do not like to boast, but I'm the meanest, the nastiest, the dirtiest, The most low-down men who ever lived.
Oh, you just say that.
Oh, no, it's the truth. Never, even in the mill picture, was there such a wicked pirate.
Oh, what about Captain Kidd?
Oh, a cream puff.
What about Blackbeard?
Who? Shoe salesman. Now, do you know why I stole the toys from Santa Claus? Huh? To sell them? No, I just took them because I'm mean. I hate people.
You do?
Yeah, I hate everybody. Look. Ouch.
You stepped on your own toe.
Yeah, I even hate myself.
Oh, you're not so mean. In fact, you pirates are a bunch of sissies.
What's that?
Well, you're all wearing earrings and bloomers.
Lady, you don't appreciate what a mess I am. Walking the plank and cutting off the ears is for junior pirates. When I take prisoners, I tear up their ration books. Pretty mean, eh?
Say, what are you going to do with us? Don't forget, it's Christmas.
You, my friend, I shall have beaten to a pulp. And then throw your body into the sea for the sharks to finish. But the little lady here is too pretty for such a fate.
Oh, flatterer.
Now, look, you're not going to...
Quiet, Wickling. I think I will have a little fun with you. I will show you how a man kisses.
George, don't you let him kiss you.
Gracie, he means you.
Yes. Now I shall make love to your wife, and you shall have the pleasure of watching. Boy, am I a heel, huh? Yeah.
George, are you just going to stand there? Say something to this man.
You bet I will. Listen, pirate.
Yes?
What you're doing is not nice.
Oh, that's telling him, dear.
Enough of this talk. Come, my little chicken. Put your lips close to mine.
Oh, no, I won't. How do I know you wouldn't try to kiss me?
Yeah. Sure. You can't be trusted.
Maybe we need music, to create a romantic mood. Yeah, very well. Your husband shall serenade us with a love song.
Me?
You heard me. Sing.
Oh, sure. Lovely lady, I'm falling madly in love with you.
Stop it now. Stop it.
When
I'm that. That's romantic? You sound like you're gargling with hot borscht.
Well, what you said is not nice.
Now, wait. I will cast a magic spell. Now, wait a minute. Focus, abracadabra. There, now sing.
Okay.
Lovely lady, I'm falling madly in love.
Gee, that's wonderful. I sound just like Jimmy Cash.
Now, go ahead. Sing some more. Play, pirate.
Lovely lady, I'm falling madly in love with you. It's a feeling beyond concealing. What can I do? Take my heart, it's yours alone to keep forever. Lovely lady, I'm falling madly in love with you. Lovely lady, I'm falling madly in love with you.
Thank you very much. Would you care for another number? Thank you.
What a ham. Now, don't forget it was my magic spell that gave you that voice.
What? That was my natural singing voice.
Oh, is it? All right. Focus, abracadabra. Now, let's hear you now.
Okay. Gee, what happened?
Oh, George, I'm so happy now you sound like yourself again.
Well, are you ready to make love now? Come, my pigeon.
Don't you touch that little girl.
You're the meanest and lowest skunk I ever met.
Yes.
Why, you're nothing but a low-down, miserable rat.
Yes.
Why, even Gracie's sister Bessie wouldn't make love to you.
Oh, now, wait a minute, George. That's going too far.
Well, I guess it is.
I had enough of this. Hey, only the sweet.
Yes, boss. Here I is.
Now open the hatch and throw this riffraff down the hole.
Sure enough, boss. Yes.
Down with them!
Oh, George, we landed on a big bass drum.
Please, get off my stomach.
Why, it's Santa Claus.
Oh, pardon us for dropping in on you like this.
Well, that's all right, Widow Wadey. I was just looking at all my toys. This is where that snake in the glass pirate put them.
Well, just look at all these wonderful toys. Scooters and sleds and dolls. And look, here's a bubble pipe. And the card says, from Mama and Papa to Willie.
That's probably for your brother.
Oh, George, don't be ridiculous. My brother Willie's 37 years old. He stopped blowing bubbles 2 years ago.
Well, good for Willie.
Oh, here's my pride and joy right here. It's a talking doll. All you do is wind him up and he talks.
Oh, really? Oh, let's try it. I'll wind it up and see what it says.
Mama.
Oh, it's a mama doll.
Mama.
Hey, Mama, get me some Swan, the new white floating soap that's kind to your hand.
That's some dolls.
You women have long considered Castile soaps the standard of purity, Mama. But Swan is even purer than the finest Castiles. Money can't buy a purer soap. That's why Swan is so good for bathing.
Oh, it ran down.
Well, good.
Oh, I want to wind it up again. He's so cute.
Oh, Gracie, don't wind him up again.
That's why Swan is so good for bathing the baby. After all, if Swan is purer than the finest Castiles, well, it's bound to be kind to even a baby's tender skin. And if it's the soap for baby...
I took the key.
Oh, well, here's a cute little gift. Look, George, a toy telephone.
Oh, that's a dandy present. You can dial with it and everything.
Oh, well, I want to try it. Hello?
Hello. As I was saying, if Swan is swell for baby, then it must be swell for your hands and face, your tub or shower.
Gracie, hang up. Santa Claus, did your assistant, Irvin Kringle, have anything to do with these toys?
He made them.
I thought so. Leave them alone, Gracie.
Oh, but, George, I want to see how this little toy dog works.
Well, I guess a dog is safe.
Arf! Use Arf in the kitchen and Arf in the back.
Oh, no.
Arf.
Oh, dear, all these beautiful toys, and it looks like the little kiddies will never get them. Roller skates, tin soldiers, bicycles, electric trains.
Wait a minute. That old pirate can't have these.
What's that you're saying? Who can't have what?
Well, you can't have these toys. Santa Claus has to deliver them right away. Why, those skates are needed in North Africa. And those scooters go to New Guinea. And those toy trains have to go to Guadalcanal.
What's that? Marines play choo-choo?
Oh, no. They won't go as skates and scooters and toy trains. But the metal in them will go as guns and tanks and planes for our boys to fight with.
But won't the little children miss the toys?
Oh, well, give them toys, Santa Claus, but not toys made of metal and rubber. And I'll tell you something else all the boys and girls want for Christmas this year. They want war stamps. So, Santa, you load up your bag with all the war stamps you can carry. Because when the children get war stamps, they know they're helping their fathers and brothers and cousins and uncles and friends in the service to do the fighting job that has to be done.
Take the toys. Take the toys. I give them all back to you.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Pirate. Santa George, isn't that wonderful?
Terrific.
Swell.
I'm so disgusted with myself.
Oh, well, don't cry, Mr. Pirate. You're not a mean man at all. You've got a heart of gold.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that disgusting?
Gracie. Oh, Gracie.
Gracie, wake up.
Oh, what? Oh, George, we're home.
Oh, of course we're home.
Oh, well, then I must have been dreaming. You and I were up at the North Pole, and we were captured by a pirate, and this pirate made love to me, and...
A pirate?
Uh-huh.
Who was he, Tyrone Power?
No, it was... Say, that's an idea. Good night, George. I'm going back to...
Oh, fine.
George and Gracie will be right back, so I'm just going to remind you that many women would have beautiful hands if it weren't for dishwashing. So when you're washing dishes, help safeguard your hands. Wash those dishes with Swan. Swan is purer than the finest Castile soaps. So naturally, with Swan in the dishpan, you help keep your hands lovely. And say, since Swan suds faster than other white floating soaps, you'll find it makes dishwashing a faster, more pleasant job. So what say? Why wash dishes the hard way? Why not try Swan? Well, here they are, George and Gracie.
Yes? Oh, it's you, Mr. Camaro.
Where's that duck?
Oh, don't you dare touch one feather on my little duck's head.
Lady, that duck left only one goldfish in my pond.
Well?
Well, it's Christmas, so I brought it over for the little fella.
Oh, thank you, and a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, a Merry Christmas to you all.
That goes for me, too. Merry Christmas, everybody.
The makers of Swan, the new white floating soap, join George and Gracie in inviting you to tune in again next week, same time, when their special guest will be one of your favorite movie stars, the glamorous Rita Hayworth. So remember, Swan also brings you another of radio's top shows, Tommy Riggs and Betty Lou over another network. Now till next week, this is Bill Goodwin saying, well, I, Swan, how about you? Good night. Merry Christmas.
Try Spry.
You'll find the baking you turn out fluffy and light. Try Spry. You're sure to hear your family shout, what a delight. For cake, pies, donuts, the things you fry. Try Spry. What's that you say? You're going to try it today?
Why, sure.
Try Spry.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.